I had seen Steph do that so many times where he just got on a heater at the end of a game, no matter who was on the floor, even if KD was on the floor, if Clay was on the floor, it didn't really make a difference. So, I mean, I think it got amplified because it was in the Olympics and it was amongst the stars that it was like, oh my God, I'm like, Curry been doing that for such a long time that it shouldn't really be that big of a deal.
Just I don't want to office, right?
But what I don't want to do is I don't want to act like it's nothing. It's just that's who he is. Like he's done that before. That's absolutely who Steph Curry's been. So I'm not surprised at that at all.
No doubt.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay, my bad, Mars. Anyways, y'all, welcome to the show, PC fam. We're running a little late, but you know, we are here. We got Mars in the building, Chill Town Hoops, and of course, we got my man Swiper. We got a lot of hoop to talk about today. Right now, currently, Turkey, Turkey, Swiper?
Turkey.
Turkey is playing Poland, and they are up at the end of the third quarter. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. They're up 61-40. So it looks like they should take this one. I'm pretty sure they will. What's new, fellas?
So if I'm not mistaken, Ox, with the current format, I think the championship is on the. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys can straighten me out. I think the championship is on the 14th or the 15th, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think that we're in the final stages of it. Like
the championship would be the 14th, third place game first, and then the finals.
All right. So the fourth, that's next Sunday. So that's this Sunday coming up. I mean, Germany plays Slovenia tomorrow. Germany plays Slovenia tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Can Turkey win this thing? Is Turkey good enough to win this thing?
Turkey would play Greece or Lithuania next, so probably making it. And then you would have Germany versus Slovenia, Finland versus Georgia. Germany is the overwhelming favorite on that side of the bracket right now. So
they should.
Germany's going to be tough.
Germany's tough, but
they're
have
healthy.
a shot.
They're healthy. They have bigs. They have wings. They have guards. Like they're like the most. They're most like an NBA team currently in Eurobasket.
The thing I'm really digging about this is that training camp opens in like 2 weeks. So these guys that have been playing at the level that they've been playing at, Markennen, Luka, right, Sengun, guys like that. I feel like this can segue right into the season. And I feel like even though they're probably gonna get managed in a different way, like I don't think that the Lakers are gonna let up on Luka. When I say let up, I mean I don't think that they're just gonna make Luka now sit down. No, I definitely think that they're gonna keep the gas on, and I think they're gonna keep their foot on the gas with Luka. And I think this is gonna have these guys come into the season, on fire. I wouldn't be surprised if Lauri Markennen was in the conversation early on for like player of the month. Don't be surprised if you saw that. If you
mean being all NBA again, like he should have been 3 years ago or 2 years ago now over Julius Randle. Yeah, I agree. I had him third team that year. He was amazing.
Oh, was that 2023?
2-3, and then 3-4 happened, and then 4-5 happened. Yeah. He got cast to the shadow realm.
Speaking of these guys, though, y'all, of the NBA players, hold on, let's pin up for this question because I'm curious for everybody thinks. Well, okay, there we go. I think that's the right one, right, Mars?
Pembroke, what up, brother?
Oh, what's good, Joe? What's up? I'm curious to know of all the NBA players. We're talking Kristaps, Lauri, obviously Luka, obviously Jokic, Giannis, all these guys, Sengun, all the Germans. You know what I'm saying? Like of all the NBA players, who have y'all been most impressed by, or even just shocked with, or who have you guys been enjoying the most
relative to their standing in the league?
My bad, Andini. Well, just I mean. Not even relative to that, just straight up, just hoop, just like what you've been seeing. What have you been most impressed with? Well, not even in comparison to anything, just watching.
Sengun, I wrote a list. Sengun, Jonas Valanciunas has been spectacular so far for Lithuania. To be fair, also so was Vooch. Vooch was playing really well when he was still in it. Obviously, Giannis, Luka. Again, somebody that people don't know about, Francisco from France was going wild. He was the point guard that they had. He had a 30-piece versus Slovenia in a win. I mean, there's been a few. Like I said, I thought Alexander Sars looked really good defensively. I thought Zachary Richer looked really good for France. France actually has a lot. That's probably the one that you need to worry about for 2028. By the way, like they're very loaded. They have a lot of really good players.
I'm gonna be watching more Washington games this year because of Sarr. I'm gonna poke my head in.
Defensively, he was a great anchor so far in
Yes.
Eurobasket.
I'm definitely gonna be watching more Washington games this year because of him. But for me, it's been Lauri Markennen more than anybody. Because I mean, I watched a couple of Utah games last year, just a handful. I'm not gonna sit there and say that I watched Utah a lot because I didn't. But a couple of games, and with watching them, I think that they use him way different in the finish game. I did not know that he was that good of a one-on-one player. I did not know that he had that much in his arsenal as a shooter. I knew he could shoot the basketball. I knew he was really good in transition. He actually is one of the better transition players in the game in the NBA, right? But I didn't know that in the Euro game that he could be that good. And I feel like watching him, if Utah is smart on any level, they will definitely implement a lot of the stuff that they're doing in this game and bring it over, I think, to the NBA game. So he's the one that's impressed me the most.
Joe, you sound like a very big Lauri Markennen fan. I've been listening to you for a few weeks. I have a suggestion.
What I've seen, I'm liking him.
I have a suggestion. If you write an autobiography, we can call it From Moses to Markennen.
Yeah.
The evolution of Chilltown hoops. I cannot think of two players who are more different than Moses Malone and Lauri Markennen, but there you are, celebrating them both. Shout outs to you.
For real. Absolutely.
You know, that's the mark. Sure, that's the mark of a real hoop head. That's the mark of somebody that really loves basketball, that can like people on all different from every range, on every plane, just real hoop.
I don't care what you look like. I don't care where you're from. Like, basketball is one of those games that just doesn't have a color. If you can rock, I want to see it. I don't care if you're Chinese, if you're from Chile, it doesn't make a difference. If you can rock, I want to see it. And I'm really impressed with this kid, Lauri Markennen. I didn't really pay much attention to him when he was at Arizona. You had brought it up. I didn't pay nearly as much attention to him as I did DeAndre Ayton at Arizona. And that's largely because DeAndre Ayton played a little bit different. DeAndre played like the consummate big man, and Lauri Markennen was a little bit more of a Euro. But when I watched him more at Utah and then started watching him in the international game, I was like, damn, like, this dude is nice. And I got to start paying more attention to him.
From China to Chile, the evolution of an American hoop head. You know, like the sequel is writing itself as well. This is pretty great. You got it.
Go ahead, Pete. I see. Phil, you know what? I'm sure somebody would disagree in the chat, but I would make an argument. Lauri was better than DeAndre at Arizona. That's an argument I would make. Lauri was nasty at Arizona.
I can't speak on him, Ox, because again, I really wasn't paying a lot of attention to him at Arizona. I definitely was watching DeAndre Ayton when he was at Arizona. I was definitely paying more attention to him. So I don't know what Lauri Markennen looked like when he was in college. I'll be lying if I sat up here and told y'all that I did, because I don't, because I wasn't watching much of him.
Right. Swiper, you made an interesting point about France in 2028. I think some of us are asleep on how good Victor Wembanyama will be in 2028.
Well, you know, this somebody who had him 4 in my top 10 list this year based on 46 games. Obviously, I'm probably higher on him than the consensus, but I think that Wemby's going to be spectacular. I think by the time we get to 2028, if he's not the best in the world, it's because Jokic either has insane longevity, Giannis has insane longevity, Luka has an insane rise and peak, probably has 2 championships by then, MVP. I don't know, like, you know, he just gets better. Anthony Edwards is taking like a crazy leap. He actually becomes Michael Jordan, or somebody else in the league that we just don't know about that, like, you know, turns out to be whoever. Maybe the kid from Finland, Penn, I don't know if you remember his name, the 18-year-old that they have. It's like Markennen or something like that. I can't remember exactly what his name is.
He's in high school.
Yeah, he's 18 years old, chill. He's
on
you know,
on the national
imagine
team,
going to grade 12, all all the women that dude is going to pull.
I did not know that. That's
love is love. Love is love. Love is love.
Love is love.
But kids like that, though, I think he's a great player from what I've seen so far. And I'll admit I haven't seen a lot, but from what I've seen, he looks like he knows how to play ball. He's big, he's athletic. But kids like that, I just can't rank. Like I just can't rank.
So
I gotta wait. I know it's about projection. I know that's what we're supposed to do. All of that, super athletic. Kids like that, I never use the rank.
Mika Markennen. So you can lock that in your brain. Mikka Murinen. Mika Murinen.
Low key looks
Right.
like a K-pop star, but
Yeah, he already has like neck tattoos and all that kind of stuff. He definitely has been influenced by, by a lot of American basketball, like the way he plays. I don't know if you saw the dunk he had. I don't remember who the game was against Penn, but I remember Batum posted it on Twitter. It was a repost when he like jumped from right in front of the free throw line and like cocked it all the way back. And he's tough. And I don't know where he's projected to go, but
they're saying
he
lottery.
is. Yeah, I think based on if he just one more year chill, he's probably going to be a top 10 level pick. He's kind of like Matas Buzelis from Chicago, but just like I would say, like maybe I don't know, Penn. You can probably describe him a little bit better than I can, but that's probably the closest comp I can think about in recent drafts.
He's a lot rawer at the same stage as Matas. He reminds me a little bit of Noah Senge, actually.
Just an uber athlete that's like
for
still
sure
needs to develop. Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking, Swipe. From what I saw, I was thinking Matas Buzelis, and it's not just the tall, lanky white kid. That's not why. It's you know what I'm saying? It's just the way he hoops. I like it. But I wasn't really rating Matas until this season too. Like I just when you play like that, when you're that size, I just got to see you play in the NBA before I can really.
How crazy is that to be 18, to be 6'10" damn near, and be able to just like move like that, like fly in the air, and he can shoot a little bit too. Like that's special, bro. He's kind of like
more common though. Isn't that more common today, Swiper? Like when we're talking about guys at that size, right? Guys at that size, 6'9", 6'10", get up and down the floor the way that they do, especially Euros. Because I just remember the only thing I'm thinking.
Yeah. If I could just say, like, maybe the white guys that fit that mold, that's like Cooper Flag, Matas,
that's what I'm saying.
Mika. I don't know. There's not a lot of them.
I think that's my thing. I think there is, Swiper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot more than we know. I just don't think that we see them enough. I just remember the clunkier big guy, especially lanky white guy back then. He was kind of all over the place, but today he's a lot more athletic. Today he's a lot more fluid. And the guys that you're talking about, like Lauri Markkanen is a prime example of that. Lauri Markkanen is a 7-footer, but he played like a 6'6" guy.
Well, that's because of the toxic waste in our water now over the last 30 years.
Swipe, you're 6'1"?
Yes.
You're 6'1".
So add
you're
9 more inches.
Yeah, I got you. You're taller than like 84% or 85% of people.
And then when I walk around Ox and them, I'm still short. That's just
so but Ox, who's 6'8", 6'9", you were like, you may not even realize how rare you are. You are roughly 1 in 100,000 people in the world are your height.
Yeah, but we're not talking about everyday people. We're talking about amongst basketball players, amongst athletes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Amongst
amongst athletes, it's rare. 6'9" is a very rare height.
Right. But amongst basketball players, it's really not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know. Speaking for myself, growing up, I never felt big playing basketball. They're like playing big, but I'm talking about walking amongst other basketball players
in the gym. Yeah,
especially basketball players at that level that are gonna be something. You know what I'm saying? Those, like,
were you often the tallest player on your team?
No,
you weren't.
I wasn't.
You gotta remember, he went to college too.
I haven't been the tallest player on my team since the 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people, basketball players are huge, bro. Like,
you got to remember where he played too, man.
I'm not a big basketball player. So that's why I said, like,
if anything, he's undersized for his position.
Our center was 6'6". So I mean, like, I don't know.
Well, I'm just judging just based on that. And obviously, I'm not saying that this kid in particular, I'm not saying that he's not rare. I'm just saying that long, athletic guys that can move and jump, I don't think that's very rare. He's probably better than a lot of those guys.
In the world of basketball, by the way. In the world of basketball.
You know what I'm saying? So
in the world of high-level basketball, 6'9".
In the world of high-level basketball, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, that's kind of like saying in the world of billionaires, right? Like in the world of billionaires, being able to afford a yacht is not rare.
Ox was one of the brokest billionaires, basically, is what he's saying.
But he still was a billionaire, though.
Yeah. But I mean, like Ox mentioned,
multi-billionaire.
Yeah, Ox mentioned it once how rare it was to find someone who was 6'6" who wasn't clunky, and that's facts. Like I have friends.
I'm talking about.
Yes, in the everyday world. Like I have a friend who is 6'6", Romanian kid. Like his knees hurt when he walked. You know what I mean? Like all the time, bro was like hunching over, like trying to just accommodate that height because it's just rare. You add muscle to that, you add weight to that, you start getting into Zion's build. Like, you really are talking about 1 in a billion type of people, right? Sure. So I'm just saying 6'9" coordinated, even in basketball, feels really rare to me, which is why a lot of these kids, even though they can't really play basketball, have often been in lottery picks. Jan Vesely. I mean, Jan Vesely can play basketball. I'm not lying on Jan Vesely. He can play basketball, just to make it in the NBA. But like, if you 6'9", if you have long arms, if you're decently coordinated, and you can even put the basketball, like you can dribble, pass, shoot, you probably a lottery pick, and that tells me you're pretty rare.
Yeah, I even with that being said, Penn, I still, and I'm not just trying to just disagree. I'm just saying, just to push back on that. There's a lot of them out there, Penn. Like my little brother's like that. My little brother's like that. He just tore his ACL 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are like, it's a lot. I went to high school with Kevin Galloway. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was like as a sophomore averaging a triple double. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are, you know, I don't know. I just, you know,
my girl.
I just look at it, and I think that's why I say it's hard to rate it, because you see a lot of those guys that are like tall, long, and, you know, athletic, and it's just like, oh, that guy's supposed to be, but it's just, it just never quite comes around. But I think this kid Mika, I think he's special though.
The reason why it's as rare as it is, though, the reason why it's as rare as it is, to be really quick, my girl, when I was playing overseas, she's a gymnast. She was like 5'2", 5'3", and she would talk about me having a short man's complex. And her girlfriend was like, why does your dude have a short man's complex? What the hell is that about? I was like, well, and she said, well, he's been hanging around 6'10" and 6'11" dudes half his life. So of course he looks like these dudes and he looks like he's small. Meanwhile, the rest of us, he's towering over us. So, I mean, I can definitely understand how rare it is. Cause again, I'm hanging around dudes ox size my whole life. So I'm looking up to these dudes the whole time. So I think I'm a small dude. When in reality,
you get me and I'm walking around you, I feel like I'm a tree amongst trees. Feel me? Like, it's football. Football is different too. That's how the culture is, though. Actually, to be fair, like basketball a little different. Y'all around them people all the time. Football is like you ain't got no choice but to be big in your head, or else, you know, you're gonna get dominated.
I get what you're saying. Like, you know, when you're in the practice, when you're in the gymnasium, you're short. If you're 5'11", 6 feet, you walk into the hallway, suddenly you're taller than 80% of the people you see. I totally get it. But I think, as with Mars, you know, looking outside and finding British people, right, that sound like him, it's rare for me to bump across somebody who sounds like Mars here. So I have to always remind myself, what is the world going through, right? And that's where like the stats stuff comes in, and it's been kind of drilled into my brain to think of things from a sociological, statistical perspective. So yes, I have to go back to, yes, it's rare, but it's not rare for you, but it's rare for our chat. More than likely, unless our chat were also Division I hoopers. And being a Division I hooper is rare, right? Like, I broke down the numbers once. I think it was like 8,000 people, 8,000 Americans in the world play Division I.
In football, less than 1% of over 1 million high school athletes play D1.
Exactly. So you're already talking about the rarest of the rarest of the rares. So you start.
So are we doing the same thing like, for example, with these guys on the national team, like, for example, the Finnish team, as big as Finland is, how many guys over there actually play basketball, and where do they find these guys from? You know, I don't think they go to other countries and, you know, get these guys to come in.
Some of these European countries are tall, Joe, like Macedonia, Serbia, Finland, Austria. Some of these countries are really tall, like where the average man is taller there than they are in America, which is already a pretty tall country. So when you start talking about population skews, China, India, a lot of people there, right? So there's certain countries in Africa where the average height might be 6'1", certain countries in Africa where the average height might be 5'6", big disparity. So so certain countries, especially in Northern Europe, produce very tall players, and Lithuania is one of them, Serbia is one of them. Shock, the teams are good.
You know what's funny? I think rewatching some of that Finland game, like, one of the things that was immediately takeaway, like they had a lot more athletes than I think people gave them credit for. And I think that actually makes a difference. Like, I think that's where rebounding numbers like come into play in Eurobasket. You know,
hey, what country in the world? Excuse me, I didn't mean
it. High as crap too, by the way.
Oh, it's okay. I just didn't mean to interrupt a Broncos.
What up, Drenchy? What up, Drench?
I didn't mean to interrupt the Broncos fan, but who cares? But at the end of the day, what country in the world average height is 5'6"?
Well, I don't know if
That's
there's
small.
the exact number. I do
Mhm.
know there is a tribe in Ghana where they have an average height for the men that's around 6'6", and then they have average height for women that's around 6 feet tall.
Oh, I need to head over there, Swipe.
Yeah, you do, but you wouldn't survive there, bro. So shout out to you. You'd be smaller than a lady, so unfortunately, but it's and you would be fat over there if you went over there, bro. The way you built, like they'd be laughing at you, until you spend like a year over there losing weight. Because they're I don't know how much you do like anthropology stuff. They're one of the famous groups of people that literally they will hunt like gazelle, antelope, and outrun.
You said in Ghana?
It's a tribe. It's a tribe in Ghana.
Papa, ain't nobody outrunning no gazelle.
No, it's a
No,
long.
they're not.
No. Literally, you can look this up. They
I don't know,
literally.
bro.
No, I know, but listen to what I'm saying. Though, not a sprint.
I'm hearing you. Okay, go ahead.
It's not a sprint. The way they do it is they chase endlessly until the gazelle gets tired. They have a higher propensity for long distance than the animal does. So the animal will sprint to a distance. They will keep going, jogging. Eventually, the animal runs again.
They're wolves, basically.
Yeah, basically until the animal's heart will give out, and then they'll go up and they'll soft kill it and then bring it back. Like it's insane, bro. Like some of the endurance that
to answer Jordan's question in terms of like which country has like really small people, Nigeria is one of them that has pretty small people, believe it or not. Thailand, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Malaysia, Nepal. I've actually been to Nepal. People are so tiny, bro. So Swiper, if you ever want to feel 7 feet tall, you can go to Nepal. You will effectively be like stopped for photographs everywhere you go.
Well, that's probably in part because I'm black too. Every time they see a Negro over there, you should see.
In Nepal?
Wait, wait. Poland's trying to make a comeback.
What's the score?
They've cut the lead to 10 with 5 minutes left in the game.
They ain't coming back.
They ain't coming back.
I'm saying they were just down 20. They were just down 21. Like,
let me turn courtside 1981 on my computer.
I would bet any amount of money that Turkey is going to win this game. Turkey.
I mean, that's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. But I'm just letting y'all know that they're trying to make a comeback. Just
hold on. Let me see what Shane Larkin and Sengun are doing since they want to big up. Man, Sengun only got 15, 10, and 10.
Sengun has a triple double.
Yeah, he does. And then Shane has 13.
Did you just say only 15, 10, and 10?
Yeah, man. Shout out Sengun. And then 13 and 5 for Shane Larkin. And then what's that he got? Mars, you see it? It went away from me.
He got 10, 5, and 2.
Yeah, shout out, man. Turkey's man, Turkey. Shout out, man. Who's on Poland?
Quick, we got a super chat from L host. It says Mika Markennen. Remember the name? He'll go down as the kid that flamed Kola Jokic. The same way Chet made his name for crossing up Steph. Go Greece.
Wasting $5 to hate on Jokic.
Well, I think
to be fair, that was the first time I heard of Chet was when he did that to Steph. For as well. Now I was a casual to the high school.
Yeah, I saw Michael Porter Jr. beat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I was just well versed in the basketball world in terms of high school basketball. But that was the first time I heard of Chet was when he did that, and that was what 2021, 2020 maybe around that time. So,
right about.
Yeah, so shout out to Chet.
I mean, Kola Jokic might not have been necessary, Ron. I don't know if that was necessary.
Well, I think whenever you see people bring up somebody's name constantly, that means it goes to show you they're the standard. So, like, I think Ron is continuing to expose himself about how he feels about certain people. But shout out to my dog, though, wherever he may be.
Swipe. I think even Ron will admit that he believes Jokic is a top 3 player in the world.
No. He never brings up the other guy when he's talking about the standard, the best in the world. So
who cooked who worse? Mika cooking Jokic or Ox giving Ron hosting lessons right now? Who's cooking who more? I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the present.
We got super chats, and we're like 25 minutes into the show. Come on, man.
I'm gonna go with the present.
Ron, take notes. Take notes, man.
I'm gonna go with the present. That's what I'm.
Another super chat from LG. Philly should trade Paul George and picks for Laurie so they can. Then yeah, just not doing. Oh, never mind. Picks for Laurie so they can save money to re-sign Quentin Grimes, plus keep Oubre for some size and athleticism defensively. MB and FC.
I think it's incredible how these dudes.
Is Laurie Markennen going to save you money?
No, he isn't, because he signed a max deal. His deal.
No, but I think they want to play.
His money is on the books. His money is on the books for more than what Paul George signed for. That's number one. Number two, I think it's interesting how these dudes talk about how Philly should do this or how Philly, like the Jazz are just going to hand over Laurie Markennen for Paul George. Like you know what? Ox, here, take Paul George. You want him? Here you go. No problem. Absolutely. Here you go. And matter of fact, not only take Lauri Markennen. I'll take your first round pick. I don't know, in 2 years. Like, we're just gonna do that. No, that's not how basketball works. That's not how pro basketball works.
I had no idea Paul George was making 51 million next year.
I will tell you right now.
He signed a $93 million deal.
He signed a 4-year deal. You remember that deal?
4 years, 100.
Yeah, I don't keep a 4-year 212. Interesting.
Where you playing, bro?
No, I knew he was making a lot. I didn't know it was 51.
If you fire up your copy of NBA 2K26 and play my GM, the Jazz will literally give you Lauri Markennen for free.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give him away for just about anything. Traded him for RJ Barrett.
But would Danny Ainge do that?
No,
he's 2K, man. They're not locked in.
No.
But I think Paul George will have a good year next year.
2K Danny will.
Wait, Mars. What'd you say?
I think Paul George gonna have a good year next year.
Not
a $51 million year.
What are we talking?
What's a good year, Mars?
$25 million year.
What's a good year?
Well, 25 million isn't what it used to be.
He's
gonna be an all-star caliber player. That's
whoa, that's a hot take.
Who?
I don't think saying Paul George gonna be all-star caliber is a hot take, but maybe it is. I don't know.
It is a hot take coming from you, Mars, and the reason why it's a hot take coming from you, Mars, because you was out on him a year ago.
No. Well, actually, I didn't. I thought people were overrating what he was doing his last year in the Clippers, and then last year I think people underrated what he did. I don't think he was terrible last year.
Mars,
when you're representing a contract,
he's going to be 36 this year. He's going to be 36 during.
Well, not only is he going to be 36, when I said,
maybe it is a hot take, then I'll live with it being a hot take.
Yes, 100% is a hot take.
Okay, it's a hot take. Okay, cool.
You definitely turned the tables on Paul George because you were not feeling him at all. This sound like a dude who chick over there. She was like, now all of a sudden I see you on a date with her. Like, Mars, what's going on? What happened?
Wait, but Mars,
I think the narrative on him
changed.
I think that the money was too much. Perception of him has changed from outside. My perception of him hasn't really changed. I kind of view him. He's worse than he was a couple years ago. Well, he played worse last year than he did a couple years ago. But my opinion of Paul George hasn't really changed. But people were, in my opinion, higher on Paul George back when he was on the Clippers, and then I was lower on him than they were. And now I think those same people have now done a 180 and are very low on Paul George currently. Meanwhile, I'm in around the same spot, give or take a few deviations. But like I'm in and around where I used to be. But the perception is so different that now I'm viewed as more positive, whereas before I was viewed as more negative. When depending on who I talk to, I'm probably right in and around where I was the whole time.
So with that being said, Mars, today, September of 2025, over under 20 a game for Paul George this season.
Ooh. That's probably around where he'll be, 19 to 21.
Still playing solid defense.
Yes, good defense. I think he played good. He played good defense last year, but no one cares because he wasn't scoring.
I mean, Pin, that's what Paul George does. Paul George always been.
Yeah, he was actually really good defensively.
I was the moron who came up here and said it was a good signing last year. I have mud on my face, but fool me once. Shame
I still think
he's
not going to be worth 51 million. I'm never going to justify that.
Forget the 51 million. I'm going to make an argument that I don't think he's worth 25 million on the decline at this pace.
I don't know who makes 25 million to make that comparison, but I think he'll be a good defender, pretty good defender, assuming there's no more major decline. Offensively, I think he'll be a good tertiary piece. Now he needs to be tertiary. Embiid needs to play, but that's another prerequisite outside of Paul George's control. But I think last year he just had a really down jump shooting year, and I think he's a better shooter than he showed last year. So my optimism comes from that regressing to the mean, which would mean he would shoot a lot better than he did last year and have a lot more created looks for him because of Embiid's gravity. That would lead to him being a more efficient, more productive offensive player with the ability to create as a tertiary piece as opposed to being asked to do primary things, secondary things. So 19 to 21 a game, really good defense. And then all of his other complementary skill sets like his passing ability and all of those things. I think he'll be a good player. 51 million, no, but a good player nonetheless. I don't expect him to be a bad offensive player like he was this past year.
To give you an idea, Mark, to give you an idea, like you said, about 25 million, because you said you weren't aware of a $25 million guy. So Anthony Simons in Boston, he's around 25, 27 million. Right. RJ Barrett, he's around 25, 27 million. Like these are the guys,
and
that
neither of them are worth
RJ's
that.
better. RJ's better than Paul George today.
These
I
are
don't
the,
agree
these
with
are the
I don't
guys.
agree with that either.
I don't agree with that.
I got
Today,
I think
agree
defensively,
with that.
because Paul George is so much better defensively, and you know, RJ took a lot of steps last year, but I don't think he's better than Paul
Right.
George. But shout outs to you for showing RJ love. I think RJ got a lot better last year.
Tobias Harris is making 26 next year.
yes.
Remember, I told y'all Paul George.
I'm not
was
arguing with that.
Ability,
George was
availability, right?
2-year, $52 million deal.
And you know what? I've always been high on RJ Barrett, so maybe that's just my bias.
Me
towards
too,
RJ.
Ox.
I'm
Me
a big
too.
fan. Of
I've
RJ
always
Barrett,
been.
and
Me
always
too.
have been.
Yeah, I've never been an RJ Barrett guy, so maybe I'm lower on him than I should be.
Yeah.
So, but you know what, Mars? I know we got a couple things to talk about today, but I kind of want to stick with the Sixers for a little bit. I think the Sixers are a team that we can all agree have really been confusing for maybe the past decade. What if you got Paul George kind of having like a vengeance year, comeback year, right? If we can get 45 games from Joel Embiid, 45. Let's just keep.
Let's be optimistic. Let's say 50, Ox. Let's say 50.
It depends. It depends
I'm
which 45, which 50. Are we getting the 45 where he's going into the playoffs and he's there, or are we getting 45 where he's shut down in February and we have nothing to do?
No. Let's do the Kawhi Leonard thing. Let's say that Joel starts getting in there January 1st, right? I don't know how many games that's about 45 left, whatever. Let's say around that time, right? And he's relatively healthy. We're getting Joel at 85%. Can we what can we
Don't tell Mars that. Don't tell Mars that.
Hey, Philly and 6 is loading. So I get Embiid at 85%.
Let's get Joel at 75%. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? But relatively healthy, and he can make it through the playoffs. Like he's not breaking down. Can this be a year where Philly surprises? I mean,
this is their best chance.
It's kind of wide open.
Considering the East is in the state it's in, obviously you got Cleveland to worry about. Obviously you have the Knicks to worry about.
Orlando.
I think teams like Orlando, Atlanta, Detroit are teams that are going to be tough to beat. But I think if you have a relatively healthy Embiid who's able to give you what he's able to give you in the playoffs, the only team, if I'm Philly, that I would be really looking at as that's a tough team to beat would be the Cavs. But that doesn't mean that they can't beat them. Maybe the Knicks, maybe, I don't know. But
this is what I'm thinking. So Mars at 75%. The first question that I have about Joel Embiid is at 75%. What kind of mobility am I looking at with Joel Embiid? Because what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to be able to win games with him just standing on the perimeter and shooting mid-range jump shots all night. That's not going to happen. As good as he is as a bucket getter, I do need him to do other things. I do need him to rebound. I do need him to be a force around the rim because I don't have that. So at 75%, what exactly am I getting outside of him being a really good jump shooter at the mid-range? What am I getting out? What else am I getting from him, right? Because I can't just have him just standing on the perimeter and shooting jump shots. No.
Chill. Have you seen a regression in paint touches and around the rim stuff from big men as they age or have injuries? Like a massive regression. Because like the point of Paul George, right? Like from his top 3 MVP finish in OKC till last year, there's a 50% regression in shots around the rim, which is normal for a wing, for a guard who doesn't start their possessions 3 feet from the basket. But for Embiid, who has been more perimeter oriented and like more like a guard, I wonder if part of the rehab is stop moving as fluidly and as, you know, complexly as you've been moving and driving to the rim. Rather start your possessions closer to the basket. I think I would use him more as a traditional back to the basket center with the occasional ability to pop, as opposed to like the guard. You know what I mean? Like the complexity of like if I'm his doctors, if I'm his medical staff, I'm looking at the load placed on his body, and I'm like, yo, all these hezzy crosses and hang dribbles and flying into the paint and falling over, that's probably what's destroying your knees.
Yes. Which is fair.
Isn't that what makes him so great? His ability to do those
7'1", he has great touch around the rim. He's a phenomenal defender when he's engaged. I think if I'm looking at 75% Embiid, one of those crossovers might end his career. Like I'm just looking at the that's maybe hyperbole, but you kind of see what I'm saying. When
not.
you're 300
we just
pounds,
saw it in the playoffs. We just saw it in the playoffs when he fell over, and we was like, "Oh shit, it's over." So that's not true. You're exactly right with that. Yes.
Well, like when you're 300 pounds, like I would try to limit the complexity and range of motion that you're trying to go through. If I was your trainer, right? I'm looking at your game and I'm trying to streamline it. I think Jordan could probably speak more to this. Jordan, if you were looking at Joel Embiid's medical history, how would you use him?
I think a lot of it is he just got to be in shape. It's not so much about how would you use him. I think a lot of it is shape. Like when you're overweight and you're trying to jump and dunk on people and do all of that stuff, you're probably gonna hurt yourself. You're overweight. That's number one. Your diet is probably bad. Number two, I wouldn't try to use him in any athletic situation. Like he would just have to change his game a little bit, which is possible. He just doesn't have to do all of the crazy stuff, like jumping all over the place.
Got to lose weight, bro.
Yeah, but the main part, he just got to lose weight. But he don't have to be like crazy athletic to still average 30. I don't think that's necessary.
Agreed.
I think that's what goes back. I think that goes back to Penn, to your original point, where if I'm going to play on the block, if I'm going to play on the block, one of the main reasons why I'm as productive as I am in terms of my touch around the rim, in terms of me being dominant, I can't be landlocked, right? So a 75% Joel Embiid, I still have to be able to bounce. I still have to be able to get off the floor. I still have to be able to get my jump hook off. I still have to be able to get my runner hook off. I still have to be able to rebound. Now, to Ox's point, and Ox and I have had this conversation numerous times, it's a jungle down there in that paint. So if you worried about him crossing over and you worried about him getting hurt, well, there's a lot more elbows flying in the paint. There's a lot more pushing and shoving going on in the paint. There's a lot more physicality going on in the paint because there's trees down there. And
but he's 7'1", chill. He's 7'1", and Zach Randolph made a living in the NBA not being athletic at all.
Two different games.
Well, there's the thing, Cho. Zach Randolph, like I won't say Julius Randle. Zach Randolph, Horace Grant on one side, right? That range of motion. Dennis Rodman, Draymond Green on the other side, right? Like when you're 6'5", 6'6", I could totally understand you need to do that stuff. When you're 7'1", you really don't need to do a lot at all.
Yeah.
You seal, you got a basket.
Yep.
You set a screen,
to be fair,
you pop. Set a screen, reverse the screen, pop out to three. It's a really simple game. You can make it really simple.
That's not just that isn't as simple as it sounds. You know what I mean? Like
when you gotta be crazy athletic to do it though.
My point is be more Ewing than Elijah one.
Right.
That's my point.
Well, Ewing.
Later Ewing. Seattle.
Okay, right. Okay. But Penn, what I'm saying is like, regardless though, if
you heard that right, Mars. Yes, you did.
If I'm dealing with like lower body injuries, knee injuries, and stuff like that, right? It's like anything I'm doing in basketball is pressure on that. Anytime I turn, there's automatic torque on all of my joints, especially if I'm that big and weigh that much. So if I'm trying to seal on the block, I'm getting pushed, but I'm trying to maintain my ground. I'm trying to seal here. All that's down here in my hindquarters. It's down here in my lower extremities. So it's like if you have bad knees and you're that big, you have to get healthy. You have to lose weight. Those are the only ways. You can't change your game and think you're going to be all right. I still got to get up and down that hardwood 94 feet. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's much change in your game that it can be. It could be. I think it's play less, lose weight, and enjoy it while it lasts.
And I will also say, I think he does need to change his game a little bit. Like he doesn't have to press so much. Like he does a lot of pressing so much. Like as far as like trying to get to his shot, trying to do multiple things. He don't necessarily have to play like that. But to be fair, he scores a lot of points and he doesn't really use his athleticism a lot right now anyway. So like, I don't think it would be a major adjustment for Joel Embiid to dial it back a little bit. Like he doesn't. It's not like he's just going to the goal slamming on people anyway right now. Like he do it every once in a while, but not a lot.
You know who he could pattern himself after? Portland Arvydas Sabonis. I think that's the perfect place for him to be. He's not anywhere near the passer, but if he can just, because Sabonis was done, right? Physically, he was done, but somehow he was still able to be effective. And he was effective because he wasn't nearly as, he wasn't nearly as explosive at the rim. He found different angles. He wasn't like trying to change direction as much as he was as a young cat. he was using more positioning and size and muscle to get rebounds as opposed to jumping to get rebounds. Again, it's just about maximizing the load on your knees and your hip flexors and your hamstrings. Like if I'm consistently putting you in like complex range of motion as at that size, the chances are I'm going to break down more. See, like if you look at a Kawhi Leonard, that's a very efficient game. That's a very efficient game. There's almost no wasted motion. Kevin Durant, very efficient game. No wasted motion. Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, totally different. Spider Mitchell, totally different. Joel Embiid plays way more like Spider Mitchell than he does like Kevin Durant in terms of like how he attacks the game. I think he needs to change. And I think he needs to adapt to what we call the OG Park game, right? We used to have those dudes who played Division I basketball. They come when they're 50 with their knee braces and they still cook you in the park. And I swear to God, they never move. They stand in the post and they just like, you know.
I also don't think the play style is the reason why Joel Embiid is hurt. I really think he just need to lose weight. Like I just
he's been in shape, yo. He's been in shape.
One second though, fellas. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry. We got to pay bills, y'all.
Yes, we do.
Here we go. Swiper, take it away, brother.
Y'all, we have an absolutely amazing paid partnership with Splash Sports. Now, we're putting our money where our mouth is. Are you tired of hearing about who knows ball? This is your opportunity to prove it. We teamed up with Splash Sports to drop 2 games of skill for the PC community. One, it's a $50,000 Survivor Series. It's 1 pick a week. Survive and advance. Miss once, you're out. We got a $15,000 weekly pick 'em. Make your picks on every game. Compete against other fans, not the house, and climb the leaderboard. If you want in, check the link in the description and pin to the top of the chat or scan this code that you see on the screen. Reminder, you got to be 18 or older to play, and you got to be 21 or older to play in Massachusetts, Iowa, Arizona, Louisiana, and 19 or older to play in Alabama and Virginia. Terms apply, paid partnership. Come run it with Player's Choice on Splash Sports and turn those picks into real cash prizes.
Damn.
Golly, Swiper.
I know one thing is a fact.
How'd you do that?
One thing for sure, 2 things for certain. Hey, Ron, we accepting applications. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, Swiper, you sound like one of them damn arcade game dudes when you shooting on the damn gun and they like, one more turn like that. That's how Swiper sound, boy.
Ron better get his ass back to work. I know that. I don't know much, Drenchy, but I know
like a movie trailer humping.
Yeah, he sounds like a movie trailer coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah,
Ron's job is on the line.
Now say it. Say Bo Nix is garbage. Say it.
Now this is what I can tell you. Those Tennessee Titans, they put up the best effort possible. But here's what you know: that man Cam Ward can play. He looks good, but your defense looks mighty trash. Your offensive line couldn't hold up. But guess what? Coming soon, 1 year later, they might be in contention to win 5 or more games. This year, they're back at number 1.
Hey, Swiper, you a goddamn lie, Swiper. You a damn lie. First of all, our defense look good. We made Bo Nix garbage ass turn it over 3 times.
Hey, look, shout out, bro. That happens sometimes,
Swiper,
man.
I know this is a basketball show, so we're going to take a little bit of seconds on this. Tell you know damn well our receivers are garbage. You know it.
Yeah, we knew that. We knew that going into the year, though.
Did Cam Ward play? Did Cam Ward play pretty good?
I like Cam. I thought Cam was good. I thought he
played really well too. I think our coach babied him, which I hate that they do that with quarterbacks with this type of thing. They do these elementary ass playbooks. Let the man throw the ball more than one time a drive. Why we throwing the ball one time? I don't get it. And he's the best player on our team.
But you got to remember, he was getting blitzed. He was getting pressured on 42% of his dropbacks. So, like, you just don't want to put a first-game rookie in that situation all the time.
Man, please. We ran the ball 3 straight times.
That's basically just to understand what Cam Moore was going through. It's like every time you open your mouth to address me in a way that is disrespectful, you get blitzed on every one of those opportunities. You don't want to be the same thing, and you can actually get hit. Because Jordan, the only thing saving me was a screen. That's it. The only thing he's saving you is a screen.
You
You
is
can't
a
run no screen for
goddamn
Cam
lie,
Ward.
boy.
That's all that is.
Swiper,
Yo,
Swiper,
am I
like
reading
Hey, I
things?
like. Hey, hold on. I like that little double entendre, that little play on words right there, Swiper.
that
Did
man
somebody
Swiper
just
on
get
I
packed?
like
bullshit
that.
today.
Hey, that's nice.
Hey, Swiper on bullshit today, bro. Swiper got his do-rag on. I mean, his little bandana on. Now he think he pop. He running around like he pop.
Well, Swiper, just so that the people know and the people are informed, can you please let them know what they shouldn't be missing tomorrow?
Yo, every single Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can tap in to the press box. You want to hear about the best football on the internet from some experts who have played and watched the game. Tune into the press box at 8:30 p.m. And on Sunday, right before you set your fantasy lineups and you get ready for the upcoming game starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, tune in to the press box at 11 a.m. Tap in for 2 straight hours of straight football talk. This is the place that you want to be. Tap in tomorrow night. Get ready to test the waiver wire Thursday morning and get ready for your next matchup on Sunday. Press box, 11 a.m. Sunday, Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Tap in. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get to it, y'all.
Definitely don't want to miss that, y'all.
Hey, boy, that's a
also-
hell of an intro, Swiper. Boy, you do your thing on that one.
You
got link in bio?
Back to the basketball talk, y'all. I'm just curious if anybody's aware of what's going on with Ben Simmons. I know we talked about him and his agent parting ways last week. There was even talks about him saying he wasn't sure if he wanted to keep playing basketball, thinking about retirement. And now it seems that he turned down a contract from the New York Knickerbockers. What's up with that, y'all?
Mars is okay with it, but for me, I just think he a bum.
I'm okay with what?
Ben Simmons turning down a contract from the Knicks, and he don't got nowhere else to play.
Not yet,
yeah.
he doesn't.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with it.
Why?
Because if he don't want to play for the Knicks, he don't got to play for the Knicks.
But who do he think he's supposed to play for?
Maybe he don't think he's supposed to play for anyone. Maybe he don't want to play in the NBA. That's his life. I have no problem with him using his free will and determining if he wants to play for an NBA team or not. He didn't want to play for the Knicks. He said no. Why would I care about that?
I don't know why
think
you care. I just
Like, you are like, I'm the crazy one for like, hey, Ben Simmons, you made a decision for your life.
No, he made a decision for his
He
life.
don't want to play for the Knicks.
I think
so
it's
don't
the
play for the
arrogant.
Knicks.
I think it's the arrogant one. I don't know if it's not about playing the NBA because he definitely want to play in the NBA. That's what he was saying about. He think he should get this deal. He think he should get that deal.
When did he say
and it's
this?
like the bottom line is, why would he think he's supposed to get these deals? Like the way he played
when did he
last
say
year.
these words?
Okay,
When did he say these
so
words?
before
Because I haven't
we-
watched all of his interviews. Maybe you heard him say something I didn't hear him
before
say.
we
No. He said he think he should get more money than he got last year from the Clippers.
He said that?
Yeah, more than the minimum. That's
Okay,
that's what this issue is. More than the minimum.
Is that no? He said that, or you're projecting?
No,
And I'm not
saw
saying
that-
you're wrong
I
for
saw-
projecting. I'm asking if he actually
I
said
don't
that.
necessarily know if he said it. I saw a report that he
So he
wanted
didn't
more
say
than the
it.
minimum.
Right.
Like I definitely saw a report saying.
Okay,
he
but did
wanted
you
more
see
than
the
minimum.
report that he's contemplating retirement?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, I saw that report, which would
So
mean
is he contemplating
that
retirement?
I have
because he
reason to
can't get
believe
more
that
than the
maybe he just
minimum?
doesn't. Maybe he just doesn't care to play in the NBA to the degree that you think he does.
right.
Which
Is
would
it-
mean
is it- is it-
if it's not the right situation for him, which he
Yeah.
might deem the Knicks to not be the right situation, or maybe even financially, maybe it's not the right situation financially.
That's what
to
I'm
your
thinking
point.
it is.
Okay, so this is
He
this
doesn't
is where
care.
I don't
You
want
don't
us to
lose
play
money, bro, playing,
I
but-
don't want us to play broken telephone with this. The headline, very grabby. You know, Ben Simmons rejects a contract offer from the Knicks. But the truth, as I did a little bit of digging into this last night when Ron told me this was going to be a topic today, and I have some friends in New York who covered the team, and they said that there were some stipulations attached to the contract, specifically, you know, in terms of guarantee dates, fully guarantee dates, role, etc. So, from Ben's perspective, he believes, for whatever reason, you know, because he's a former All-NBA player and a former first overall pick and a very, you know, good player still to this day. I think he's a positive player. I think he's better than
I think he's a
at
negative
least
player.
100. Okay, cool. Like, I don't think he's a negative player. I think there's negative aspects to him, his health, his shooting, whatever. But I think as a defender, he's easily like a top 60 defender in the NBA. That immediately puts you on the court. He's top 65 basketball IQ. So because he can't shoot, he's like a negative player. I don't agree with that. But I think he comes with a
No,
lot
it's
of.
because
I think he comes with a lot of drama.
None of his ability besides his defensive ability. Like,
Well,
I think his
enough.
off-ball skills are kind of trash. My point is, like, we shouldn't be
That's
so
not
quick.
true.
I don't think
That's
we should
not
be
true.
so quick to rush to Ben Simmons doesn't want to accept a minimum, because Ben Simmons may accept a minimum, but he wants certain things attached to that minimum, which is guarantees, because it would be quite embarrassing to get waived in training camp.
What kind of guarantees?
Well, a guaranteed date,
Playing
like the partial guarantees. So there's certain contracts in the CBA that you're allowed to sign, and again, it allows cap flexibility if a player doesn't work out, where there's a fully guaranteed date, partial guarantee dates, camp guarantee dates. So certain, contracts are camp contracts. So you get, like, I don't know, $120,000 just to show up, right? And then there's a second guarantee date and then a full guarantee date. So maybe the second guarantee date, the contract is structured November, and then the full guarantee date is like in January. So maybe Ben Simmons feels like, I've already earned.
Yeah, he don't deserve any guarantees.
Okay, again, one person who doesn't agree with you is Ben Simmons. So Ben Simmons obviously feels like he does deserve a guarantee and that he deserves some stability. And I think we need to empathize also with all the polarity around Ben Simmons. People don't like him. But from his perspective, going to a team randomly, right, getting cut in training camp, and they don't have to pay you jack shit, or getting cut in November, and then having to move again, new apartment,
no.
like that.
Yeah,
that
welcome to the NBA. Like, why do we
So he said he already said he's contemplating retirement. Like, maybe he doesn't want to be in the NBA because of these reasons.
Okay.
Like, all you guys are like, oh my God, if you don't like it, then don't be in the NBA. Then he's actively choosing to not be in the NBA, and you're criticizing him.
No, I'm not criticizing him. You
just said he's a bum for doing the thing that you're basically saying he should be doing.
Which is crazy, by the way. Which is crazy that you say he's a bum.
Hold on.
You're like, I don't think Morris cares about this, but I just think he's a bum. Meanwhile, he's doing the thing that you're basically saying he should be doing.
First of all,
which is if you don't like it, get out the NBA. He's doing that.
First of all, that's not even my problem with Ben Simmons. My problems is every time we do, we do this shit for certain players where we try to structure the situation instead of calling a spade a spade. Nigga, you think you're better than what you are, and you not, nigga. You, for the last 5 years, nigga, you've been trash. And now you want some guarantees. Your career has panned out.
For the last 5 years, he's not been trash. He made the All-NBA team. So the last 5 years, he's not been trash.
Hyperbolic. Since the 2021 playoffs, since that incident in the 2021 playoffs.
He's been garbage.
Yeah, okay.
So
we'll call it 3.5. Let's call it 3.5 years.
Okay, it's been a while. It's been a while.
So for the last couple of years, you've been trash. The NBA is treating you exactly what you deserve. You really deserved it last year, but you got away with all of these things, and now you're looking for guarantees. You shouldn't have been an NBA player last year, to be honest with you.
Which would explain why
that's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. Ben Simmons,
that is
if you
ridiculous.
First round draft pick,
he's not.
Pick, the way he plays,
forget all of that.
It's not an NBA player.
Forget all of that.
Well, if you're comparing him to a number one pick, sure, but being an NBA player isn't relative to a draft position. It's relative to the rest of the league.
No, it is. It's
no,
relative.
it's not.
Yes,
it's actually not.
Being a number one,
most number one picks aren't making minimum contracts either. The point is, being an NBA player is not relative to your draft position.
Being number one pick gives
I
you
agree
more
with that. I agree with that. Apart from Anthony Bennett, who was out the league in like 2 seconds. But if the argument is Ben Simmons doesn't deserve to be in the NBA because he's not good enough, you would have to argue that there's 450 players more deserving of being in the NBA than him. Not that he's the worst number one pick.
Not necessarily. No, you don't.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. You would have to argue that there's 450 people more deserving of being in the NBA than Ben Simmons. That's the argument that means you don't make that argument.
You don't make that argument for
players the argument that
overseas. No, you don't.
No, I never said there's 450 NBA players. I said you would have to make the argument that worldwide there's 450 people who are more worthy of being in the NBA than Ben Simmons.
No,
that's the only way to argue that someone's not worthy of being in the NBA. There's 450 sports.
You do not have to make
that's what it is. It's worldwide. In order for someone to not be worthy of being in the NBA, there has to be 450 people more worthy than them.
No, it doesn't, because now you're saying that the NBA has the best 450 people, and they
don't.
That's exactly what it means.
No. Okay, no. I didn't agree with you.
Hold on. We got four.
I said worldwide, not in the NBA. I never said
one second, brother. One second.
In the NBA, better than him. I said worldwide there has to be. That's why I said.
Yo, okay. Let's let each other get your takes off. Jordan, you got something now, or?
Yeah, because what he's saying is you would have to say that there are 450 players more deserving of being in the NBA than Ben Simmons. I'm saying cap. No, you do not have to say that, because by you saying that there are 450 players more deserving of being in the NBA than Ben Simmons, then you are actively saying that the best 450 players are in the NBA. That's basically what you're saying. If I have to prove that, I don't have to prove that to say Ben Simmons is not an NBA player. I can just look at his talent and I can see what's around the league, and it doesn't fit. That's all I have to see with my own eyes and see where is a Ben Simmons at in the NBA. Where is he? Where is a playmaking whatever the fuck he is that don't really make that many plays? Where is that? Give me a duplicate Ben Simmons in the NBA. Who is it?
In Chicago with Pat Williams.
Can I speak?
With who?
Of course. Go ahead.
No,
With who? In Chicago with who?
No. Pat Williams is not Ben Simmons. No. Okay.
Pin. Go right after Mark.
That's not what I'm saying, Jordan. In fact, I made it explicitly clear when I said worldwide. In order to be worthy of the NBA, because I've made the point maybe last week that the best 450 players in the world aren't all in the NBA. I've made that point. But when you say someone is not worthy of being in the NBA, in order to make the argument, because there is 15 roster spots and 30 teams, we do some maths. 30 times 15. What number do we get? 450. Okay. So in order for someone to not be worthy of being in the NBA, you would have to make the argument that there's 450 people more deserving. That does not mean I'm saying that all of the 450 in the NBA are better than Ben Simmons. I'm not saying you have to make that argument. I'm saying you would have to state that in order to be worthy of being in the NBA, you'd have to be worthy of the 450 spots. I think there's guys overseas in the EuroLeague who are worthy of being in the NBA. I think there are guys in the NBA, maybe not Ben Simmons, but guys in the NBA who are not worthy of being in the NBA if the league was truly the best 450 players in the world. But it's not. But what I'm saying is, in order to be worthy of being in the NBA, in my opinion, you have to be one of the 450 best basketball players in the world. That's what I think you have to be. In order for you to say he's not, I'm saying you would have to say there's 450 players better than him at basketball.
So what would we say about
and it's obvious.
And also, he's also not the worst player in the NBA.
Not only that, not only is he not the worst player, it's obvious. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And here's why. Because it's obvious that somebody is interested in him. Because the Knicks offered him a contract. The Knicks offered him a couple teams interested in him.
Yes, they also.
Hold on, y'all. Let Pink get in there too. Who else?
Thank you.
Who else offered contracts?
I'm not at liberty to say who else, but there are at least two teams and a third team on the horizon that have at least poked around and asked him how he's doing. So what I'll say is, I agree with Mars that you would have to make the case that deserving. Like, you'd have to make a case that this player is deserving. So the question is, why is a player deserving of an NBA contract?
Hold on. And I got to
hang on, Jordan.
Let
me just get this off.
I'm trying to understand this deserving point, because when we make the
point,
I'm
trying to explain it.
Yes, but hold on, because we keep glossing over what y'all are saying. When y'all saying that there are players overseas that's better than players in the NBA. Did anybody make the case that there were
we're not arguing the same
more
point.
Deserving than them?
But here's the thing, Jordan, you're not understanding what I mean by deserving, and I'm trying to explain what I mean by deserving.
I mean, I'm just talking about Mars' point. Like,
but you and Mars are not making the same point.
Yes, I'm saying there's guys overseas who deserve to be in the NBA.
So did anybody make the case that 450 guys was better than them too?
Hang on.
Yes, and I disagreed with them.
There is a pool.
What?
Okay. Hold on, yo. There is a pool of about 800 to 900.
Shaking my head like I haven't actively disagreed with that sentiment.
Hang on, yo.
Months.
There is a pool of about 800 players in the world who could realistically be NBA players for one reason or another. I believe that pool is quite large.
Don't play in the EuroLeague neither.
That includes recently retired players who just don't want to be end of bench role players, but if they accepted the job, could get back into
guys
the league.
In college who are actually not eligible to be
exactly
in the NBA.
That, plus overseas players, plus players who've just been blackballed from the league. It's a pretty big pool, so you can understand why there's. Pardon?
So don't forget about me. Put me on that list too.
Okay, cool. And Big Ox.
Podcasters who have hoop dreams,
Yeah. Well, I mean, podcasters who have hoop dreams is you. Okay, that's a Division I hoop.
Hey, man, I live out my hoop dreams on 2K, man.
I got you. So what I'm saying is, of the 800, 450 get a job, which is why it's so competitive. And then the rest end up in the G League or whatever, right? The argument of deserving. Why does a player deserve to be in the NBA? There's actually a few reasons. It's not just about basketball. One is, are you actually really good at basketball? Like, are you able to contribute and help me win? Number two is, do I think you will one day be good at basketball? Are Are you valuable enough? Is your potential?
Ain't no number 2.
Hang on. The Tijan Salons of the world, the Bronny James of the world, these dudes, right? The Ulrich Chomskys of the world. These guys are taking up NBA roster spots, and frankly, they are not anywhere close to 400 top 450 players. So there is an idea of developmental reps. There is a third type of player, which is you used to be good, but now you can help these other players become good. The Garrett Temples of the world. I don't think Garrett Temple's a star in EuroLeague. The Taj Gibsons of the world. PJ Tuckers. These guys just keep getting roster spots, and power to them, right? These role players, the Thaddeus Youngs later in his career, right? These guys, the Kem Birches, these are not great basketball players at this stage. They used to be good. They used to be better, but now they're just hanging on to provide some veteran stability. We used to see much more of these types of hanger-ons, the Willis, Kevin Willis. I was going to say Willis Reed. Kevin Willis at the end of the bench. Doug Christie later on in his career. Those guys. Del Curry later on in his career. Those guys. So that's what I'm saying. So the argument that this EuroLeague star is better than Taj Gibson is irrelevant, because that EuroLeague star doesn't have 18
that's why I
years.
don't get the point which I was trying to make. I know it's irrelevant.
Well, the point is, what is Ben Simmons right now of those three? One, is
trash.
Hang on. One, is he good enough to play a top 8 rotation spot?
No.
According to you, no. According to me, maybe. Number 2, is he willing to be that veteran presence who can share his all-NBA and be a good practice player and just be a good team leader? And no.
Has he ever been that?
No, I don't think so. I don't know him. Number 3 is, does someone believe that he has potential at the age of 28? That number is 0. So he has only one of 2 roles he can occupy right now. And then the problem is, there's a thing that people decide when you're at the fringe of the NBA. Are you worth the headache or are you not? And that's the point we're at with Ben Simmons. So if Ben Simmons does not get a contract at this point, it's because teams don't believe he's worth the name, the recognition, the baggage, the history, the injury history, the hype, the fan club, the negative press.
I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can say that. I think Ben Simmons I don't think it's so much about the team. I think it's so much about Ben Simmons not wanting to accept the non-guaranteed contract, which he rightfully deserves. Like, that's why he's hanging on by a thread. Like, that's why these contracts come with stipulations, because Ben Simmons been getting money and he hasn't been fulfilling the obligations. So the only natural thing, and this happens to a lot
minimums.
This happened to. It doesn't matter.
He was making 40 million before that. To be fair.
Yes, I know some veteran guys who were making minimums with the Clippers, with the Mavericks, who contracts wasn't guaranteed. I know for a fact.
Former All-NBA players?
Hold on, and I know for a fact, and I know, and this public record, Patrick Beverley contract wasn't fully guaranteed when he was with the Clippers. So why the fuck do Ben Simmons need a fully guaranteed contract? Why?
Can I answer that, please? I'll just jump in there real quick.
Yeah,
Jordan, I think we all are just different people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Pat Beverley came up through the ranks a different way to Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons thinks more highly of himself. You know what I'm saying? To your point, I agree. You're not as good as you think you are anymore, Ben, but you can't tell Ben that. So to Mars's point, I'm more on that type of time with Ben. Like, Ben, you've made a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? You broke your back a couple times. You're 28 years old. You got a lot of money. Well, I know you made a lot of money. I don't know what you got. But you know what I'm saying? At that point, it's kind of like, bro, if you don't want to take that next contract, you got every right to. If I'm Ben Simmons, I'm in Brisbane. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go get a house in Brisbane. I'm kicking.
I don't have a problem with him not taking a contract. I've been saying this for the last 2 years. I don't think he's an NBA player, so I'm not surprised. So I'm not mad that he don't take the contract.
He's made
All I'm
200 million.
He's not an NBA player.
He's made 200
million.
Jordan,
you just don't think he's good enough to play in the NBA?
No, I think they tried it for a long time. He's not an NBA player. That's just it. Maybe 7 years ago, he was on the verge of doing some amazing things. It went drastically downhill. So what happens is you're not an NBA player no more.
I think he played good minutes in the playoffs this year.
Speaking,
I don't think they needed those minutes.
I thought he played good.
He's a really good defender.
And not only that, not only that. Why are we talking about Ben Simmons
on the court and have garbage ass offense?
Why are we talking about Ben Simmons making this money like he didn't earn that contract? He got hurt. Why are we talking about him? Why is your face like that, Jordan? The dude
I don't think he earned shit.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that play.
Jordan, it's a lot of people that play well.
When he was an
You don't
All-NBA
remember
player,
Ben Simmons in 18?
It's a lot of people. No, I don't think he earned $40 million a year. No, I think the 76ers were optimistic for giving him that contract, considering his injury history, considering the flaws that they had, considering all the things around Ben Simmons. Yes, they gave it to him because he was a young kid, and you thought I can rely on this kid. But overall,
he was an All-NBA player at that point, though, Jordan.
He signed his extension after the 2019 season,
in which he was an All-NBA player. So I'm saying, Jordan,
he was one of the best young players in the NBA,
and arguably the best defender.
First of all, hold on, because y'all want to do this shit. Y'all motherfuckers don't think Jaren Jackson earned his money.
Who?
I think he did.
Jaren Jackson Jr. So I'm not wrong.
Ben
was
better than Jaren Jackson though. Ben Simmons at 18 was better than last year. Jaren Jackson.
You didn't say nothing about that.
I think the difference between Ben Simmons' contract in 2019 when he got it and Jaren Jackson now is the CBA is very different. So the stipulations and what actually comes with a contract that Jaren Jackson got wasn't as detrimental as what Ben Simmons got in 2019. Not to mention, I also think Ben Simmons was just better and on a higher
Jordan at the same time.
But that's secondary
to clean that up. At the same
contract.
time, the 2018-19 year, that was the same year Jamal Murray got his extension. It was $136 million extension for him, and I think it was like 160, 170 for Ben because he had met the qualifier for the All-NBA stuff. And I guess what I'm saying, Jordan, is that at the time, maybe this is me just thinking like I thought he was already all NBA. He was a really good defender. He was a top 5 DPOY candidate. I thought he was going to continue to project to be like what he was and then get better from that point on, which is I think what Philly obviously did. But I think any contract for a young player that's that good, well, hold on, and then Jordan, and then we'll just end this here, Jordan. J-Dub got the same thing. You know, he got after year 3, he got his extension, which is a max for what he did, and he made all NBA. Don't you think there's some projection and rewarding in those contracts for young players like that?
Yeah, I do think there's some projection and reward.
Before you answer that question, Jordan, I want to rewind the clock. When you see Ben Simmons during this time, what are you looking at?
I mean, you're looking at a really good defensive player. You're looking at a potentially good offensive player as well, too. The problem is there's flaws. There was a lot of flaws in his game. There was a lot of flaws. Hold on, Chill, because you asked me a question.
I'm listening to you.
There was a lot of flaws in what they thought about even his work ethic. Like at the time when Ben Simmons was about to sign that contract, they were still contemplating the same thing they contemplate now. Do he love basketball? Do he love this? Do he love that? So you saw the flaws in his game. So to give him $40 million, they were being very optimistic. And guess what? It bit them in the ass. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying by he really didn't deserve that. But they were being
earned $200 million, and he came off the bench last year. How are we questioning whether this guy loves basketball? Maybe he don't love the bench.
You're out your damn mind if you talking about how we question do he love basketball.
To be fair, Philly didn't exactly. I understand your point. Didn't get a bad end of the deal with Ben Simmons. They only paid him $30 million for 1 year. Then they offered him for James Harden.
Correct.
Yeah, so to be fair,
I mean, sure.
I don't think Philly actually regret the contract. They got Ben Simmons on a rookie contract while he was actually giving you probably his best basketball. Then 2021, he's a top 5 defensive player of the year candidate, really good player. Then has the playoffs he had. They then offload him for James Harden, who at the time was probably still one of the 15 best players on the planet. And they got James Harden and Joel Embiid for a couple years. Philly didn't get a bad end of the deal with Ben Simmons. In fact, the Nets had to pay most of the bad salary. So if you're the Sixers, I don't think you regret the Ben Simmons contract. Because Ben Simmons
I think they regret the James Harden trade too, though. I think they regret all of that shit, to be real.
I don't.
Well, they don't regret it because
I think the James was fine. Was actually quite good for them.
Yeah, James was really good with them.
You know
they regret it.
I don't
fell
think
apart in the game 7.
You
I don't think Philly have actually.
You will shit all over Ben Simmons, but anytime I bring up Anthony Bennett, you're quiet. And you don't want me to say.
What do you mean? What am I? You quiet? I just told y'all the facts about Anthony Bennett. Like I know Anthony Bennett. Like I've met him before.
That's the point, and that's the difference.
I know about Anthony Bennett is
but that's the thing,
yo. Like what are you talking about? I'm quiet.
Ben Simmons has had
back problems.
Yes, but I'm not arguing for Anthony Bennett to be in the NBA. What are we talking about?
There's
You've
a lot
argued
of
against people saying Anthony Bennett is trash.
Who've been a lot worse than Anthony Ben
Simmons.
You
very strongly argued against
say that Anthony Bennett is trash. I'm not going fight with you that he's not trash. I'm not gonna get into an argument and say he can do this, he can do that. All I've said was
you literally have.
No, you've never. What part of Anthony Bennett game have you ever heard me elaborate or argue on? What part of his
when,
game?
when people, I think it might have been Penn who said Anthony Bennett was trash, and you said that's not fair to say about Anthony Bennett because he had problems outside of his control.
Yes, I
that's
remember
what
that.
you.
What part of his
said.
game have you argued with? Like
I just said,
There wasn't much game to argue, Jordan.
like I just said, when Penn said Anthony Bennett was trash, you said that's not fair to put on Anthony Bennett because he had things outside of his control.
Yes,
but when you are very comfortable saying Ben Simmons is trash, you don't care about the injuries that are out of his control. You don't care. And maybe it's because you know Anthony Bennett, and that's fine. I have no problem with you knowing someone and being more in depth with the analysis. But don't act like you haven't defended Anthony Bennett from being trash for reasons that you won't defend Ben Simmons for.
We've seen evidence of Ben Simmons. You rarely have seen anything of Anthony Bennett. You know how I know? Because I was fucking there. I saw Anthony Bennett with these health problems. He could barely fucking breathe. I saw that. That's why you never heard me say. That's why you never heard me say, "Oh, a team can use Anthony Bennett stretch threes, or a team can use Anthony Bennett ball handling." You never heard me argue that. Only thing I said was, you have an unfair criticism of him because of his health problems. That's all
I'm saying you don't do for Ben Simmons. Like that's literally what I'm saying.
Because we got history of Ben Simmons even after that.
And yes, we do. We do
Ben
have a
Simmons,
history of Ben Simmons.
Since 2022 has been dealing with back injuries. Very well documented. Guess when Ben Simmons became trash? Since 2022.
When the back,
but you won't give him that same thing. And that's fine. But don't act like you're doing
it.
But
here's the problem. Here's the problem that I have with this. Ben Simmons
became trash before he even had that back surgery. That's number one.
Hold on. Ben Simmons at his
absolute had one bad playoff.
The worst year
that's when he
of
became
Ben
trash. That's why
Simmons'
people
life.
were saying, well, did they even think his back was even hurting for real?
Because he's been dealing with back injuries ever since.
He got scapegoated a little bit in that series, by the way.
Ridiculous.
That's like
the worst year.
I agree, but I'm also saying their best player also didn't play well down the stretch. Like they fell apart for multiple reasons, and I think he didn't play well enough either. But I will say too, Penn, I think Ben Simmons has tried to rehab himself mentally and physically.
Yes.
And he didn't get back to the same place, Jordan, which I think some of Jordan's trash comments are coming from. Because I think Jordan, previous to all this, he might have been, as to use a chill slang, the best transition player in the sport.
I would agree.
This is like even before, like Giannis was there.
He was up there for sure.
Yeah,
I just don't understand calling a dude
passing,
trash.
his finishing, like all that.
Trash or trash?
I think
he's not trash.
I think that what happened,
he is not trash.
Hold on. Keep going, Swiper. Keep going.
I think what happened to him, to Jordan's, I think to try to hear your side, he had a debilitating, not just back, but mental, something happened to him. And that affected him personally as a human being and subsequently as a basketball player. So I think it was like we didn't even want to touch it narratively because you just genuinely didn't know what was going on with him. And I think that's kind of played itself out. But I will say, Jordan, based on my watching of Jordy Fernandez and the Nets, because obviously you know why I watched the Nets, Keon Johnson. Everybody knows this.
Right.
I think with Ben Simmons, I can say, Jordan, I think he legitimately has tried to contribute to what they were doing and be a positive impact player. He hustled defensively. He even would score more aggressively at times. And by score, y'all know I mean like 8 points like in a game. That's what I'm talking about. The passing stuff was there. But then Jordan, he goes to the Clippers on the buyout. And I genuinely can say that a part of the reason why the Clippers hung around in some of those games is because they put him at the low man 5. And because of how tall and physical and fast he was, they actually did a really good job, I think, boxing up the interior a little bit. Obviously, Jordan, with Kawhi and everybody else on the floor. So I'm saying that, do you not feel then, Jordan, that if there's a team out there that says, here's a 6'10", still really good athlete, that's still a very good defender, that still is willing to step in, play defense, run, transition, pass, and again, this is where the development hope side comes from, Jordan. Maybe it's not warranted. Hopefully, he will get some of the mental aggression back to be a player at least that's willing to shoot the ball 5-6 times a game. Like, do you not think that's a worthwhile investment to make for a minimum contract?
To answer your question, I think teams are right for giving him a non-guaranteed deal. Like I said, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I think he deserves, if anything, I don't think he's an NBA player. But if anything, you're going to try him, you deserve a non-guaranteed deal. Because to me, I'm not saying Ben Simmons played garbage with the Nets or he played garbage with the Clippers. What I'm saying is, I feel like the way that they are forcing this, hold on, let me get my point off, because, bro, y'all do this shit all the time.
The point can't just be a lie.
Hold on.
He actively said he was garbage on the Nets.
Who are you arguing against? Who said that he deserves
it? Y'all got it, bro. Fuck it, bro.
As you were saying, Jordan.
For you lying?
I got it.
No, hang on.
I got it. Sure.
I'm not gonna argue with.
That's why he doesn't need to, because everyone can go back and watch at the beginning of the season when he was saying Ben Simmons was gone. I'm talking to the rest of the people. I'm talking to the people. I'm talking to the people, not you.
Move on.
No, I don't need to move on. Are you the host? Are you the host? No. Chill. You was up here. When Ben Simmons was on the Nets at the start of the season, and I was actively saying Ben Simmons is actually playing quite well for the Nets. They're using him as a hub in the offense. Jordan down there, and Jordan was down there saying he's been garbage. So he can't then come up here and say, I never said he was garbage on the Nets of the Clippers. He said those things.
Move on.
Don't tell me what to move on to. Are you the host of the show? Is Jordan the host? Are you run now? No, I will not move on unless I want to. Unless Ox tells me to move on, I will not move on. Unless Ox tells me to move on, I won't move on. If you move on, I'm not obligated to.
As the host,
okay. Anyone can go back and remember that.
As the ad reader of the show, we can move.
Mars, go ahead and get your point off.
Anyone can go back and remember the start of the season when Ben Simmons was playing for the Nets. And I was actually here optimistic. They were using him as a hub in Jordi Fernandez's offense. He was an excellent passer and decision maker. Jordan told me he was playing garbage for the Nets. And I was there passionately arguing that Ben Simmons has been a positive for the Nets.
I thought you
so he can't then come up here and say 8 months later, I wasn't saying Ben Simmons was garbage.
Yeah, nigga, let me finish my point.
He actively said that. So he can't say he didn't do that when he did that. He can't do that. There's no reason for him to lie about that. He's never liked Ben Simmons. Ever since I've been up here with him, he's never liked Ben Simmons. He's been calling him trash the whole time. He can't then say he wasn't doing that when he was. And that's absolutely
Let
fine.
me finish my point. Shut up, then. Let me finish my point.
No, I'm not obligated to shut up until Ox tells me to.
Say what I'm trying to say.
All right. If we're not gonna let each other finish, you know what I'm saying? Let's just move on. Let's talk about the.
I want to hear Jordan's point. No, we're not moving on.
All right, chill. I want to hear Jordan's point too. Let Mars get his off and then chill.
Mars already talked. We already heard Mars. Jordan, as you were saying.
Okay, are you Mars? Hold on a second, Ben. Hold on, everybody just chill.
You were making a point, Trenchy.
Everybody just chill. Hold on, let me do this. Y'all chill out. Mars, you done? Jordan, go ahead, and then we're gonna move on because we you know what I'm saying, the Ben Simmons thing, we can't keep going round and round. We got more shit to get into. I'm sorry, more things to get into.
To my point that I was making, when I say somebody's trash, I'm basically saying, since I got to explain this shit for the 1,000th time, I'm basically saying it's not worth what they're forcing him to do. We are excited for him to do. That's what I mean by it's trash. So when I was just explaining the swiper, the reason why I am actively saying it's not that I think he played trash with the Clippers. It's not that I think he played trash with the Nets. It's what I think that they want him to do. It's not what he can do, and they're forcing it, and they can do better. So that's why I'm saying. What do you think they want him to do, Jordan? What do you think they want him to do? I think you're being very optimistic. I think you're being very optimistic by playing the guy who's not playing this spectacular defense that y'all think he is. He's not changing the game. He's not changing the game defensively. He might make a small impact, not changing the game, because when you get on the offensive end, to me, it's a super negative. I know y'all get excited about transition fucking passes. I know y'all get excited about the little bitty small shit. You don't need Ben Simmons for that, because sooner or later, if you put him on the floor with James Harden and James Harden is creating and he got a kick to Ben Simmons and maybe he's in a short corner and he can't do nothing with that, it becomes a negative. Sooner or later, if you can't use Ben Simmons as a lob threat, because you got to play him at the 5 sometimes, and if James Harden is on the court, you can't put the ball in Ben Simmons' hand and say, Ben Simmons, go create. The logistics of that just don't work, and that's why you're starting to see him leave teams. Like,
I kind of hate that you're both right in a way, right? Like, you're both right in a way, but I don't think you're arguing the same points, and that's what I'm trying to say. Nobody here is saying teams are stupid for not offering Ben Simmons a guaranteed contract. Nobody has said that up here. Nobody. I haven't said it. Mars haven't said it, and I think we're probably Ben's biggest defenders up here. At the same time, I don't think anyone should be calling Ben Simmons stupid for not wanting to take a guaranteed deal, or wrong, or entitled, or whatever.
Hold on, Jordan. You don't want him. Nobody interrupt you. Let him finish. Let's get through this.
Teams can be right to not want to deal with Ben Simmons at 28 years old because they have all the same concerns you do, plus some. Okay, there's baggage concerns and stuff that I mentioned before. Teams can be right to not want to deal with that. He is also, in my opinion, can be right for not wanting to deal with a non-guaranteed contract, because unlike Pat Beverly and all the other role players that you've compared him to, he's made $200 million in his career and can easily walk away. To my final, very, very succinct point of this, if there were concerns because of very bad publicity for Ben Simmons, because he's very tone deaf, unfortunately, with his PR stuff. If there were concerns that Ben Simmons doesn't give a shit about basketball because that's the coverage, I believe, as a notorious Ben Simmons hater who has since converted, that I don't have those concerns anymore. Because for him to come off the bench the last 2 years, instead of just retire and walk away with his head held high, shows me, and his defensive aggression and his trying to find a way, shows me that Ben actually does love basketball, but he has had a debilitating back issue and frankly, probably some mental, blockages that have stopped him. And I will say, to the conclusion, the worst Ben Simmons has ever looked is 20 times better than Anthony Bennett. So I think we need to show some respect there.
Well, Pin, this is the thing.
I don't show respect to shit.
This is the thing. This is the thing, Pin.
That's your problem.
I don't know if Ben Simmons loves basketball or not. I don't care. That doesn't matter. My thing is this: Ben Simmons, if you ask me, did very well for the Clippers coming off the bench in the playoffs this last season. He did much better than I expected him to do. I'm surprised that all these teams are letting Ben just sit around or whatever Ben's doing. I'm surprised. So the fact that the Knicks offered him something and he didn't accept it, that's none of my business. I'm not sure how that worked. Maybe he wanted more. Maybe he didn't want the guarantees. I don't know. Only thing I do know is that I'm surprised Ben Simmons hasn't been signed yet. And I also think he will be. I think Ben Simmons will be playing basketball this year. Because
Sacramento. Need some defense.
Oh, you know what though, Pete? I don't hate that. All I'm saying is I think Ben Simmons is good enough to play based on what I saw him do off the bench for the Clippers last season. And that's my only take I got on this. I think
why nobody gave me a duplicate yet? Who's a Ben Simmons in the NBA?
I don't know, but I don't know.
Duplicate?
There's a Drinchy, but Drinchy, there's a bunch of people.
For Wemby.
Right. There's a bunch of guys in the NBA who are unique. Ben Simmons was unique.
Remember, they were calling him Australian Bron.
Hold on. I can actually give you a duplicate. I can give you a duplicate. I can actually give you a duplicate. That's crazy. I can. Jonathan Mobile. Very similar.
I'm not sure you need a duplicate in order to be a good basketball player. If you can't come up.
I got a duplicate who got the same exact game and also can't shoot a jumper. Guess who it is, Jordan?
Who?
Scotty Barnes.
You crazy shit.
Okay, all right. Speaking of
you gonna get pen off the defense.
I slide.
Pen gonna go right back to him.
Speaking of the Hall of Fame, y'all, we spoke about the Hall of Fame for a while yesterday, but we spent a lot of it tearing down a great player in Carmelo.
Sure did.
I hated to see.
I wish
that,
Jordan was here.
What I want us to do today is let's talk about the rest of the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Swiper, I know you want to talk about Maya Moore.
The best player by the way, in this class, by far.
Chill. I know you want to talk about Sylvia Fowles, and I'm sure we all want to talk about the 2008 Redeem team. Also, I want to speak about how Billy Donovan getting into the Hall of Fame guarantees that Al Horford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I want to talk about Mickey Aronson, Danny Crawford. Chill. Can you enlighten us on Danny Crawford and his career?
Danny Crawford refereed in the NBA for over 35 years. I think he's third all time in finals games. I think he's got the most playoff games. He was one of the best referees that the NBA has seen. He'd been in the NBA, like I said, he'd been in the NBA for a long time, and he was really good. He was a really good official. So I think he does deserve. Players have a lot of respect for him in particular. They don't have a lot of respect for a lot of good referees. I don't think Scott Foster, when he's done, is going to go down as one of the most respected referees.
23 straight finals, Joe.
Yeah, straight. Not a lot of. He was a constant. He was a constant when it came to the NBA championship. Like watching the NBA championship, I knew for a fact, which, by the way, nobody talks about.
He's the LeBron of referees. Is that what you're saying? He's the LeBron of refs. Every year he just did the finals.
He better than LeBron. He went 23 straight.
And on top of that, Mars, when there was nonsense going on, just so you know who ref Game 7 of the Lakers, Sacramento Kings in Western Conference Championship in 2007 and 2002. Yes, Danny Crawford was on that.
Him out the Hall of Fame now.
100%. He was definitely on that.
He's done. He's done.
They called him up. No doubt about that. They called him up.
They should have called him up earlier.
Absolutely.
So we could have had a real ref there.
No, Danny Crawford was definitely one of the better referees in the game. No doubt about that.
Yeah, shout out. That's all cool, though. But you know what? Unless the host tells me not to, I'm gonna interrupt you because I feel like I can. First off, I just want to speak about Sylvia Fowles. Chill. I don't know if you saw her.
I think she'll want to speak about Sylvia Fowles too.
I don't know if you saw her.
Definitely down to talk about Sylvia Fowles.
Did you? I don't know if y'all saw her, and I say this as respectfully as I possibly can. I liked her when she was at LSU when I was a child. All right, I'm grown now. That woman has some of those beautiful complexion and skin I've ever seen in my life. Sylvia Fowles is one of one, and on top of that, she was an amazing basketball player. So like you're talking about 20 years.
That be the start point?
No, because I'm talking about 20 years of lore with me personally.
Okay.
So Simone Augustus and Sylvia Fowles were at LSU together, Marge. If you didn't know this, you probably didn't watch the. Well,
Marge, you know about Simone Augustus?
So
I've heard the name.
We learned about Sylvia Fowles. Great complexion, also plays basketball. Good
Sylvia
stuff.
Fowles was an amazing player at LSU. She was my favorite player in college basketball for a while. I thought she was like one of one. And then when she went to the league, she was cold as crap. And then Simone Augustus was another one that was cold as crap. That was like my duo. Bro, Sylvia Fowles, bro, was phenomenal. If you can't just go watch YouTube. Turn on Sylvia Fowles highlights.
She the best defender in WNBA history?
She's an argument. She's an argument for sure.
I think her defensive greatness makes her offense very underrated, in my opinion.
She's an all-around great human being, bro. She's a one-on-one.
She hit her free throws above average for a center. You know, she had good touch around the rim. She just did her job. She was their number one post threat. Back to back finals, Mars. Back to back. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2 rings, 2 championships. Best duo in the WNBA. Her, Maya Moore. Watching them get inducted together, that was the highlight. Yeah, that was the highlight for me.
Sylvia Fowles was amazing. I can't say enough about her. Maya Moore, to me, is the best women's basketball player I've ever seen. Like, I've ever laid my own 2 eyes on. She's the best basketball player I've ever seen. She had a commitment her sophomore year. By the way, chill. Remind the people, please, how big Pat Summitt in Tennessee were in the 2000s. And then now tell them about there was a sophomore with a full ride to Tennessee that turned down Pat Summitt to go play for Gino in Connecticut.
Yeah, to go play at UConn. I mean, she was the number 1 player in the country after her freshman year in high school. Like, she was the best player in the country.
Come on now, bro.
The best player in the country as a freshman. She was the best player in the country as a sophomore. She was the best player in the country as a junior. She was the best player in the country as a senior. Then she moves on to college. I'm one of those people who, and I'm in the minority because I care about your game translating from one space to the next. So I want to rewind. Swiper. I want to talk about Sylvia Fowles. So Sylvia Fowles, what you guys talk about with Anthony Davis, who was a defender who became a bucket getter, that's who Sylvia Fowles was. That's her mantra. She was a defender who became a bucket getter later on. So when she was at LSU, she was the most dominant defensive player in the league at that point. She wasn't a good defender. She wasn't a great defender. She was the best defender in the league. That translated over to the pro game. But then that got enhanced because her offense got even better. She got great touch around the rim. She was able to get a drop step with both hands, which is fantastic. I never seen somebody in terms of the women's game dominate in the paint like she did. I'm talking about on the glass. I'm talking about as a rim protector. Nobody wanted anything to do with her. On top of that, we have what we have today. When you talk about Mars having super teams, just so you know, like, remember with James and Bosch and Dwayne Wade, just so you know, that Minnesota Lynx team, they had a bomb squad. They had Lindsay Whalen,
Simone Augustus, Sylvia Fowles, Natasha Howard.
So essentially what that is,
Renee Montgomery.
So imagine LeBron being on a team with Rudy Gobert in his prime. Let's see.
She's 6'6" too, by the way. We haven't brought that up. She's 6'6".
Yeah,
and
she's not a small one.
And she got 2 finals MVPs. And she got the 2017 league MVP.
Yeah,
and there's some really good players that she beat out for that award.
Just to read through this roster, y'all. So this is
Swiper. But that roster was dope. But what about the other roster?
Which one?
You know, the Lindsay Whalen, Maya Moore, Simone Augustus, Rebecca Brunson. Sylvia Fowles.
Yeah, that was nice too.
Ox, can I just for a second just tell you who she beat out in 2017 for MVP? She had the lion's share of the votes. She had 385 out of a 400 votes. So it was damn near consensus. Okay. Everyone thought she was the best player in the WNBA. She beat out Tina Charles, Candace Parker, later in Candace Parker's career, let's just say, right? Nneka, Jonquel Jones, Brittany Griner, Elena Deladon, Maya Moore, Skylar Diggins, Brianna Stewart, Courtney Vandersloot, and Diana Taurasi. No air attacks required. This is the height of WNBA basketball.
That's 27-year-old, but that's 27-year-old Skylar Diggins that year, by the way.
Yeah, and that was 31-year-old Sylvia Fowles. She did that at 31. So I'm just saying, like, she's incredible. Truly incredible.
She should have won the Defensive Player of the Year that year too, by the way. On top of that, she finished second in Defensive Player of the Year that year. She should have won Defensive Player of the Year.
MVP, Finals MVP, MVP.
I'm looking at this roster. Those Minnesota teams, Ox, and you can, Japan, somebody correct me. I'm trying to think now. Well, to be fair, those Sparks rosters with Tina Thompson and who else is on that roster, bro? Tina Thompson,
like what? Lisa
Leslie, like those rosters were crazy too.
Are you talking about that? You talking about that Houston team with Cheryl Swoops? And,
no, I said the Sparks team. That Sparks.
I thought you meant that Houston team. I'm sorry.
Because that
remember Tina went from the Spark from there to the Sparks to Seattle.
Yes.
And those Seattle teams were a bomb squad too with Lauren Jackson and all them. It's been some really good WNBA rosters.
That 2010 run from Minnesota, though, again, Simone, Fowles, Howard, Alexis, Montgomery, Maya Moore, and Lindsay Whalen were on that roster, y'all. Like that's.
And by the way, just so y'all know, Maya Moore, she left prematurely. Like she was still awesome when she quit. Like it wasn't like she was washed when she left. Like she was still awesome.
Part of her Hall of Fame story, which is. Yeah, like that's a big part of it, Chill. Like she left to commit her life to fighting for social justice. She actually left and had been a pen pal with her husband to get him out of jail. She literally quit to work on behalf of the justice system in order to get him out because he was unfairly put there for a crime that he did not commit. And then she literally left like almost like in her prime to go be what she became, what she is today.
She was 29 years old. So she was 29
Jonathan
when she
Irons.
quit.
Jonathan Irons is the man, right?
Yeah.
What about the 2008 Redeem team? I mean, I'm sure we expected them to be a Hall of Fame team. We've talked about them plenty of times. Is there anything left to say, or should we just say congratulations and move on?
I think there was a lot of pressure on that team, given what had happened in 2004. And so I think pressure, should be accounted for. And so, it's interesting. LeBron said he said Jason Kidd's the only player who's never lost with Team USA. I believe that's what he said. That's not true. Kobe never lost with Team USA. Michael never lost with Team USA. There's a bunch of players who never lost with Team USA, like 8 or 9.
Pin, I'm sorry, bro. I hate to have to interrupt, but I was supposed to make an announcement earlier that I didn't get around to. I want to shout out to AJ Lewis. AJ Lewis is in the chat. He wanted to get on, and Ron told him to, send the Cash App through. Ron wants you to know, AJ, that he received your Cash App, and regretfully, he will have to decline and send the money back. But you can take that money that you cashed at, Ron, and use it to become a Hall of Fame tier chatter. And then you can get on the show on Fridays. You can come up on playback whenever you want to, and you will be able to you'll get much more from your money buying that Hall of Fame membership than you will sending it to a scammer like Ron. Okay, so keep that bread, AJ. Spend it on the Hall of Fame, and boom, we'll send you links on Fridays. You can come up on playback whenever you want. Shout out to you, AJ Lewis, for being serious about supporting Players' Choice and the panel. We appreciate you, but please don't send your guys. This is a lesson to everybody. Don't send people Cash Apps that you meet in chats. You will get scammed. Ron is a scammer. Don't ever Cash App him. Okay. Become a Hall of Fame tier member, and you will get all the perks of being a part of the Players' Choice community. We appreciate you all. Go ahead, Penn. Apologies, bro.
Is Ron really from Seattle?
About
He was raised in Seattle, but Jordan, I know what you're saying, and yes, that's true. That is true. That is. I know.
Drenchy, it sounds like some bullshit to me. That's what
I just asked the question. That's all I just wanted to know.
And I'm
we right here. Trust me, it's a fact. It is a fact. He is most certainly. He is. Yes.
He was raised in Seattle. Okay, we got you, Ron. No doubt. We got you. So, the dream team. To your point, the dream team, the redeem team. To your point, Penn. Yes, it was an immense amount of pressure on them, considering what had happened in the past with the '92 team, the '96 team, and we had to get that back. Considering what had happened in 2004, which was an awful showing. And then in 2006 in the FIBA World Championships, that was even worse with us losing to Puerto Rico. Like the international game for Team USA was actually going the other way. And we needed to quote unquote be redeemed. And I think that team, that definitely did that. And I think that with Bryant getting on the team, I think he brought a different attitude, and I think he brought this team to a different space that they weren't in, that they needed, right, before he got there. And with him getting on the crew, I think it just enhanced a whole bunch of other things for everybody else. And it's unfortunate that he wasn't there to see this, that how much better it would have been if he was here to see it. It's just unfortunate that he wasn't there.
Yeah, I think the dream team, so the initial 1992 team, I think they would have faced a hell of a competition from teams like USSR or Yugoslavia. Unfortunately, USSR and Yugoslavia disbanded into smaller teams, and then those teams became very watered down, almost like an expansion, right? Not to call the erosion of nations expansion, but that's basically what it was when you
Divock actually said that too, to your point. Divock actually said that if we could have stayed together, he thinks that they would have gave Team USA.
Vlade, my guy, for sure. But there's one country that did not split apart into a bunch of different countries, and that's Spain. And that was 2008. And that Spanish 2008 team was really good. Really good. They had Jose Calderon. I think they still had Jorge Garbajosa there, or he was coming back from injury. They had Marc Gasol, Pau Gasol, Juan Carlos Navarro. That is a great team, and definitely a team in a one-game elimination. Because again, what we're learning with Eurobasket is the same thing you learn with the NCAA Final Four. When it's 40 minutes, when it's a one-game elimination, really anything can happen. And Team USA was vulnerable, I think, in 2008, like because they had a lot of pressure coming into the tournament, and then they faced a lot of pressure against Spain. And yeah, you know, shout outs to that team. This is a well-deserved Hall of Fame.
You know, Penn, I just want to let you know, and I don't mean anything by this. I love the world. I love everybody out there. They can put them countries back together right now. And we kicking their ass.
No, that's just we're not.
First of all, it's no way that
you don't gotta do it. I'm doing it.
Hey, Jordan,
you ready? You ready?
Jordan, if Yugoslavia was together right now, Jordan, and
your favorite player and his favorite player be on the same
together right now, and we kicking that
I'm sorry.
ass.
Let's just not do this. We're not going to keep lying about this. Jordan,
I think we still win. To be honest with you,
but we got Steph Curry. I don't know about you, but we got Steph Curry.
Wait a minute, but Jordan, just go back, please, Jordan. I'm asking you, please use your brain. You do great film breakdowns, and I watch all the time. I'm not talking about
use your brain is crazy.
Because I'm saying he has a basketball brain. I'm talking to the basketball side, not the bias side, the basketball side.
The
frontal lobe that Jordan uses to make all that money. I'm talking about if Yugoslavia was together and it was Luka, Yoke, Bogey, and the rest of those teams. Hold on. I'm not talking about. I'm not Jordan. I'm being a genuine Jordan. They barely skated by Serbia that game. Barely skated by
players. They didn't pick the best players in the NBA, though. I'm telling you, the NBA.
What did they do in 24? How did they not pick the best players?
Because how did Derek White and Drew Holiday make the team?
Oh my God!
Because we need
it's the same way it's always been. No, hold on, Jordan.
You need those guys.
Jordan, wait a minute, Jordan. Please don't expose yourself.
So not true.
Jordan.
Yes.
No, hey, don't expose yourself.
That's not true.
Hold on,
they did,
Jordan. Close back up. Close back up. Don't expose yourself. We've always had high-level role players on these teams. Every iteration since '92. So all I'm saying is that in this instance, they needed players to replace this because Kawhi had to go because of injury. But even with that, bro, you can't play everybody. The only people that didn't play in that game. Well, I'm not. Ox, you hush up. I'm not done. I'm talking. I've been quiet this whole show.
I'm not even talking.
But you about to say something lie. Think about it. Tatum and Howley were the only two players that weren't playing
And yeah,
who are you gonna put in the game to replace them that they would have beat Yugoslavia?
Swipe, I just want to say something about this real quick because you mentioned Bogdan Bogdanovic or Bogey Bogdanovic, right? And y'all know I love Bogey. I love Bogey years ago when he was with us. I'm a big fan of Bogey, always have been. But when a guy like that, right? When a guy like that is so good over there, and you see how he gets treated over here, I think his talents are disrespected in America. Honestly, we have 100 players better than Bogey.
That's a fact.
All right, Swiper. So I get what you're saying, but them teams can come together and morph like the Power Rangers, and we are beating that.
I don't want to, but that's not living in reality though. Based on what we saw, they just needed one. I'm chill. Am I being crazy? In 2024 in the semifinal, they barely beat Serbia. I'm talking about barely beat them.
I would change my mind because Chill agree with you.
No, because if you had Luka and Jokic on the floor, and Luka's doing them 30-footers, and they're running a screen and roll, and they have nothing but those other defenders. I just think
you have
like
two bad defenders.
Swiper woke up so fast.
Chill, please tell me if I'm tripping.
Swiper, what about the
You're not tripping? It's nice for you to join us, though. You awake.
I'm talking about they can be like, it's more time. We are kicking that ass.
I just don't feel like we need to lie. I really don't feel like we need to lie. I'm not saying they would win.
I don't look. I could be wrong. I'm not lying. Look, I'm not lying, Swiper. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm not lying.
But you said they didn't have a
Swiper.
I think we're winning.
There's an 80-year-old man in Serbia right now who's walking around saying the exact same stuff you're saying right now. If we were together, so you actually
tell his old ass to check up.
You might be an honorary Serbian, man. This is actually pretty.
No,
I don't
understand why I'm gonna lie.
I wish I was a well player. I would have fucking destroyed you dudes.
There's no way.
I wish I would play.
Bro, like I'm not kidding.
They would just stop.
I have uncles who walk around with the same energy Swiper does. Like they get real passionate. Like, can you imagine?
We don't do this in any other sport. For instance, that's cool, Ox. I get it. It's basketball. But Ox, if this was women's basketball, you would never hear me say this because the U.S.
the women's side is so toxic right now.
No, hold on, time out. Ox, you're not even listening. I'm saying talent-wise, it doesn't matter who the world put in place. The U.S. women's basketball team, best for best, is wiping the world. Whoever's on the other side. I agree with you, but I'm not. But I'm saying the NBA and the men's side is not the same. Soccer, women's soccer, the U.S. wipes everybody. It doesn't matter who's on the field. I agree.
I don't care
but I know you don't. That's why I'm exposing you right now. Men's basketball is not the same. If you said, hey Jordan, if you said play football, then yeah, we're washing the war. I mean, you can't even Jordan, they're bringing 7-on-7 to the 2028 Olympics. You know what's going to happen with Justin Jefferson and Patrick Mahomes and Justin Jefferson?
You don't even got to get
2-on-7. 2-on-7.
Bro, you ain't got to get them to play. You can go get some high school kids and play.
But Jordan, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's a wash. It's 7-0, 11-0. It's me versus Ox. It's mano v mano. It's man v man.
Hope Solo is gone.
Yes, he is.
But Swiper, all I'm saying is, go ahead, Chill.
Go ahead. James. So with Curry. So with Kevin Durant. So with all of these guys. These guys are going to be gone too, right? All of these guys are going to be gone. Now, they're not going right now, but by 2028, these guys are going to be gone. James is going to be gone. Curry is going to be gone. KD is going to be gone. All of these guys are going to be gone. And to George's point, we need players like Drew Holiday. We need players like Derek White on the crew.
You do.
Jordan,
you the Derek White of PC. We don't need you.
I'm not Derek White.
Jordan, do you think it's a
JR Smith?
No,
do you think it's a coincidence?
Hold on, hold it down. Go ahead, Chill.
Jordan, do you think it's a coincidence that no matter who was on the floor, Steve Kerr made it a point to have Drew Holiday on the floor? You think that was a coincidence? He made
Drew Holiday didn't even do well.
Run.
Yeah,
okay,
he didn't do well.
This is why this bugs me out with you. He didn't do well. Why? And
he didn't play good defense.
Jordan?
No, he didn't get nothing.
Yes, he did. Yes, he 100%
did. Did you not see Bogey cooking his ass?
100%.
Did you not see Bogey cooking him?
Yes, he did play good defense.
On who?
On everybody.
Because Devin Booker actually played that role that I was expecting Derek White and them to play. Devin Booker did that.
So
You know
if that's true, then we're talking about one game? Is that what we're talking about?
No. So I'm saying I'm with you. I think that you need Derek Whites and Drew Holidays. I'm just simply saying that Devin Booker was playing that role too. And I think we can all agree that Devin Booker doesn't necessarily play like that in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? But we got superstar guys
that can do that.
That can go fill those positions. They don't got that, Chill. I know Swiper. I know Penn.
That's why they don't need that.
I know y'all want to big up the world, and I'm happy that we got great basketball players all over the world. But I'm not gonna just pretend so that the Serbs keep loving me that I think that they could beat us, because they can't. And now, Chill, to your point, Chill, if we want to talk about in the future, maybe so. But today, we got the chef, okay? They can't fuck with Steph Curry.
Which is fair enough.
I mean, I'm sorry. And on top of that, you know what else?
Steph saved the day. I'm saying Steph is why they won. He saved the day in the fourth quarter. I agree with you. And he kept them in the first quarter, too. He made like 3 threes in that quarter, 4.
What if they replace Steph Curry, bro? We winning, bro.
What if they replace Halliburton with James Harden? What if they replace James
because
Harden?
He wouldn't play either. They're not playing. You can't play all 12. You can't play everybody. So wait, I'm asking now. I'm asking you. The reason why they won because LeBron was manning the point in both of those last 2 games, and Steph Curry playing off the ball. I'm saying that where is James Harden fitting in on any of this? Brock was the engine.
LeBron wouldn't have to play the point.
We could put together
then why would you make a player be off the ball for James Harden?
We could put 3 teams in the league and we'll get gold.
But I'm saying, but it doesn't make sense though. The reason why they won because LeBron he went back to that NBA Finals LeBron for period.
No, yes we can. Chill. We could put 3 teams in.
No, we can't because we tried that in 2004 and no, we tried that in 2004 and it didn't work. No, we won't. You're wrong because we tried that in 2004 and it didn't work. We tried that in the FIBA World Championships and we got washed. So no, we can't. We just seen the B and the C team in the FIBA World Championships just 2 years ago. What do you think that team looks like with Halliburton and Brunson and Walker Kessler? What do you think that team looks like in the Olympics?
Them dudes is grown up now, Chill. They was babies.
I'm not talking about them being grown-ups. I'm talking about I'm not talking about them being grown-ups. I'm talking about in 2022. Rewind the clock back to 2022 with that crew right there.
Okay.
Rewind the clock back, that crew right there, because you said we got 3 teams. That crew right there that was in the FIBA World Championships. If they were in the Olympics, what do they look like? We getting washed by France.
Dude, that's not the team. That's not the team. Wait, that's not the team we put
France
in.
is beating us.
On top of that,
wait, what are you talking about, Jordan?
No, just hold on, Swiper. Hold on. Well, let's not have 3 conversations at once. Let's stick to this.
I don't want to have the one you having right now.
Okay, then mute your mic. I'm talking to Chill. So Chill. What I'm saying is, that wouldn't be a team. We create teams to win, not just grab a bunch of youngsters and throw them out there. We put Steph on one team with Bron. Then we put KD on his own team with Anthony Davis. Then we get another team with Cade and I'm not Anthony Davis, I'm sorry, Anthony Edwards. Then we get another team with Cade and Anthony Davis. Then we fill those teams up with all the amazing basketball players in America. Because my thing is this, I know we talk about Luka and Jokic and them being top 5 guys in the league, right? But y'all got to also understand that the next 40, 50 are all us. It's all us.
With that being said,
it's all us.
Didn't Anthony Edwards play on the FIBA World Championships? I'm pretty confident he played.
He was a baby. He ain't a baby no more. Here, a grown ass man paying 7 child supports. He got serious shit going on.
Okay, so 3 years later,
all of them.
Right. Okay, so now with him doing that, okay, the Olympics was last year, so the Olympics aren't going on. The Olympics aren't going on anymore. So with the Olympics not going on anymore, moving forward, we know what it looks like. But today, to your point, Anthony Edwards, I don't know, Bam Adebayo, these are some of the better players. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Today, these are the guys that are going to be playing on the. These are the 3 iterations of what you're talking about. So a silver medal team, considering what France has, considering what Croatia has, considering what Germany has. You're telling me that the 2nd and the 3rd unit that we have, that's how far the gap is in talent and in teams?
Yes. Chill. What I'm saying is that Jason Tatum, Cade Cunningham, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Davis, and Bam Adebayo are cooking. They're cooking.
Don't forget about Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, like Jalen Brunson.
Well, you can take Jalen Brown out of there and put Devin Booker in there. Fine. You can put Donovan Mitchell. I know you don't want to hear
like
it.
Zion in that motherfucker. They can put Zion in there. Like I don't like.
You can have De'Aaron Fox. You can have De'Aaron Fox, Zion, Chet. I mean, we can do this all day.
That's a wrap, bro. You don't.
I am surprised that Swiper, you didn't use this part of your brain to make the argument against what Ox is saying.
And we got Joel Embiid.
I'm screaming into the mic. I can't overpower him, unfortunately.
But I'm gonna try.
We got Joel Embiid.
I'm gonna try to kill Ox with kindness. I'm gonna kill Ox with kindness. Mr. Swiper, Mr. Analytics, Mr. Always has stats. How did Serbia do against Team USA last year when Jokic was on the court?
They don't care about plus minus.
It was 81-81. And how did they do with him off the court? 29-3.
What's the significance?
Well, they don't care about stuff like that, Pin. That's like
they don't. No,
that's like trying to teach
let me tell you the
significance. How to swim in the water. They don't want to paddle. They just want to sink and fall.
I will tell you the significance.
I swim like Michael Phelps.
The initial point was if Slovenia and Serbia and Croatia and all these countries were still one,
Bosnia
as well. Yusuf Nurkic. You would have Luka in the non-Jokic minutes. You would have a second superstar. To that point, I do think what you're saying makes sense. Yes, the top 5-6 players in the world are international, but everybody else beyond that. Wemby coming up, bro. Wemby coming up. LeBron going away. KD going away.
He's from
Steph
France,
going away.
Yugoslavia.
I understand. What I'm saying is the world is catching up big time. Okay, big time. I'm not saying look, 99.6% of all NBA players in NBA history have been American. I think that's the number, 99.4, 99.6, something like that. It's an overwhelming amount.
That number would never go under 90.
It doesn't have to.
I don't think it will either.
Because you don't bring 450 players to the Olympics.
Players in the world by far.
But the best basketball players in the world right now are not American. And that's the whole point. The top 5 basketball players in the world are not American.
They're kind of top heavy. They got a couple guys. But like I said, the next 100 are all Americans.
Next 100 is just
that doesn't matter for the Olympics.
Just another lie. Just another lie.
Of course, there's a couple sprinkled in there, but you know
couple sprinkled.
Please don't do this, bro. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. You said a definitive number, and I'm calling you out for it, Mr. Definitive.
Okay,
it probably isn't.
I get your point.
Sengun don't exist then? Huh? He just don't exist? That what I'm watching?
There's Americans playing overseas that are better.
Marketing doesn't exist then? Are we not watching them play right now?
There are some Americans playing overseas that are better than some Europeans playing in the NBA.
Like who? Name one.
Like who? Name one.
Yeah, who's a European in the league that you feel like is getting too much due, and there's somebody else outside?
Ben Simmons is an international player.
Maxi Kleber.
Maxi Kleber?
He's not in the NBA right now.
I didn't say
Kleber's on the Lakers.
Yeah, he's playing for the Lakers. He got like a $17 million contract. They can't do nothing about it.
I don't think he's trash.
No, he played in the league by 15 years now. And there's no way you telling me Maxi Kleber should have been in the league that long.
Maxi Kleber been in the league about 6-7 years, but
regardless, if you can just concede this, I guarantee you that the Serbian government will still give you a passport. You'll be fine.
I don't really care about. I don't care about this Serbian narrative with you. I really don't. I like talking basketball, and I like trying to be objective as possible. I'm saying I feel like
you're older. You're 33.
But I'm saying even if you, and first off, all y'all doing all this. Hey, whoa! All y'all doing all this talking. Y'all need to yap up before we get real straight over here. All I'm saying is that in this instance, we're talking about.
What?
I don't know if Yugoslavia. All I'm saying, Ox, it's at least fair. If Yugoslavia was together, that would be the hardest matchup the U.S. has probably ever played.
That would be a great team. That would be
sure. That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it there.
That'd be an amazing team. I think we can all agree about that.
And
I'll leave it there.
And I mean, even USSR, like keeping those countries together. My gosh.
And what countries are those, Ben? For those of us that don't know.
USSR would be Russia. What is it? Ukraine? Is it Georgia was part of USSR as well? Like so, yeah. Lithuania. There's a lot. We look it up actually.
Hey, that country ain't doing nothing. I ain't gonna lie, they're not doing nothing.
Hey, respect Sandra Mamikaliashvili.
Now he want to glaze. Could have
I'm saying Lithuania was part of Yugoslavia, Swiper. Maybe not y'all. Maybe they'll have some action.
It don't matter. You can combine too many countries. I'm telling you, it's just not gonna happen. Like at the end of the day.
What?
It's just like the end of the day.
Wait, if the world versus USA, you don't think the world will win at this point?
No, obviously not the world. I didn't say the whole world. So
I'm saying, but in the world versus USA, you think, 7-game series, who you think wins? World versus USA.
Like you talking about like Jokic, Giannis, Luka.
No, I said the world. You heard what I said? World. The whole.
I mean, that's a little different. You talking about the world? Like that's a little different. So, but the world is crazy. Like that's
if there was a continental tournament.
Well, North America win.
Yeah, North America.
That's what I'm asking. I'm just seeing.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. Hey, man, hold on. Wait. Ox, you get some of those Sudanese players, some shooters that they got.
Man, come on.
No basketball. Man.
Some of those shooters out here.
No basketball like that.
Hey, but look, but Jordan, the U.S. did struggle with them because of their athleticism and shooting, though. To be fair,
when we was taking what happened when we turned?
LeBron had to save today. I agree.
What happened when we really put it on them, Swiper? Come on, bro.
I'm saying LeBron had to go LeBron. I agree.
I missed the US have LeBron. That's kind
I missed a key ingredient in USSR's potential dominance, which would be Latvia. So they would have Kristaps Porzingis as well. So the 15 nations that made up the USSR are Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Estonia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Ukraine, and Uzbekistan.
All them damn stands.
I'm so sleep on.
Chill. You see your number one hater in the chat is trying to glaze me all the time now, bro. Cause he's off of you. My boy, he getting passed around like a blunt, bro. Relax.
We just did it. I'm pretty sure we just did a PC first because I don't think Turkmenistan has ever come up on PC ever. And they probably ain't coming up again. But
we beat them by 30 pin.
The stands getting their ass kicked.
Jordan, I expect you to be a U.S. women's soccer fan from now on.
They all getting their ass.
That's the best team we got. That's been the best team we got for 25 years. Wait, Jordan. We have won multiple Olympics, multiple World Cups in U.S. women's soccer. You should absolutely be a fan of the juggernaut. That is the greatest team.
Soccer, so
I know, but hold on. The U.S. women's national team is the greatest team we have ever assembled. I want people to understand that. That is the greatest team we have ever had in the history of the sport. And you telling me y'all don't like them? They got. Matter of fact, the front line, Jordan. You would love this. You pro-black. The whole front line is black women for the first time ever. Trinity Rodman, Sophie Smith, and Mallory. All three of them.
Is really good.
It's crazy, Jordan. This is it's like Divine Nine on U.S. women's soccer now, boy.
Swiper, I don't watch soccer. I don't know nothing about that. I don't even know nothing about football or soccer. NFL football, yeah, but soccer, no, I don't know much about it. I don't like talking about that.
Okay, well, learn, Jordan. You're a coach.
What I don't want to.
He doesn't like the sport. He ain't
Jordan, I'm not talking to you, Mark. I'm talking to Jordan.
What I don't want to get off the track with Ox is I still think USA is winning gold in 28. I do. I still think
they're winning gold forever.
Right. I still think that they're gonna win the gold in 28. I'm not arguing against that point. I just think that stuff like tryouts are going to be important. I don't think that we could just put a crew together because I feel like with what's going on in the world, I feel like these teams are getting better. Even if the talent isn't there, I feel like these teams are getting better. That, like you just brought out, like what high level role player played on the Olympics. I mean, Vin Baker was on the Olympic team in 2000, right? Antonio McDyess was on the Olympic team in 2000. Like these guys are doing things. To your point, Ox, like you could get somebody better than Drew Holiday, but when you got a guy like Drew Holiday on the crew that does what he does, that just makes us so much better. That just makes our team so much better. So when we get to 28. And we have teams, when we have teams like Germany, when we have teams like Spain that's going to be back in the middle of it, when we have teams like that are coming back better, we have to maybe switch up our plan. We have to switch up our program a little bit because adding just this player and this player and this player and just picking them out instead of having tryouts and getting the best fit could be to our detriment.
Yeah, hey, chill. If they had tryouts and did that, Drew Holiday and Derek White wouldn't make the team.
And that may be true. And you know what? And I'm good with that. And the reason why I'm good with that, because possibly we could get a better fit. Because if we got tryouts, what I'm saying, Drenchy, is if we got tryouts, I got 5 guys that I already think are going to be on the crew. So I think Jason Tatum's going to be on the crew. I think Bam's going to be on the crew. I think Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Edwards. And I think Halliburton. I think those 5 guys are going to be on the crew.
I don't know if Halliburton make it. You got Jason Tatum, though.
So now.
Two Achilles tears? Okay, got you.
So now, the Olympics are in 3 years. Okay, it's not like the Olympics is next summer. Relax. Right. So they're in 3 years. So with that being said, so now we got, 12 spots? So I got 7 spots. Ox, let's get 35. Let's get 30 guys in here and let's fill these 7 spots.
I think chill. I think Cade Cunningham makes
it
for a hell of a
NBA players. They're not gonna try out. Like a lot of them are not gonna try out.
But they're not trying out for the NBA. So why I hate when you say that. Like NBA players, why would they try out? If they're trying to build the same thing, like that's
it's bad for your brand to get cut. You know that, right? Like
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if they did try out.
Yeah, tryouts for the Olympics, for the Redeem team.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Different generation.
To your point though, Chill. If they do try out, I think that's how a guy like Jrue Holiday makes the team. You know what I'm saying? A guy like Jrue Holiday that comes and shows like, yeah, I'm not known as a superstar, but watch what I do to superstars. That's how guys like Jrue Holiday make teams. You know what I'm saying? So I think a tryout would be great. But guys, we'll get back to the Hall of Fame in 1 second. We do have to pay some more bills. Swiper, go ahead and take it away, brother.
Look, y'all, we got some absolutely exciting news. It's official. Player's Choice is partnered with Splash Sports. These are paid fantasy contests and games of skill where you compete against each other, not the house. Now, we're starting off with the NFL alongside a press box, and you can all compete with us this NFL season. If you think you're a ball knower, you think you know football, this is the place you want to be. You got $50,000 Survivor and $15,000 weekly Pick'em, and guess what? They're live now. The link is in the bio and or description at the top of the comments. Again, you must be 18 or older to play, 21 or older to play in Massachusetts, Iowa, Arizona, Louisiana, and 19 or older to play in Alabama and Virginia. Again, this is a paid partnership. Terms apply. Tap in with Splash Sports and the Press Box.
Definitely, y'all make sure to do that, man.
What I know for a fact is, it's not a fact, but it's my opinion. Ron, you in trouble, bro. That's all I
know. Guys, so we talked about the Redeem team. We talked about Sylvia Fowles. We talked about Maya Moore. We talked about everybody except for Billy Donovan. Has Billy Donovan done enough, in y'all opinion, to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's basketball Hall of Fame.
I know.
That Gators team, that Gators program produced some incredible pros. And Al Horford, Joakim Noah. It is a really great program. And I have a lot of love for collegiate programs that turn around based on a coach. Like, you know, like that's why I love Leonard Hamilton so much, turning around that Florida State program. So yeah, like shout outs to Billy Donovan. Obviously, he's done a great deal of work.
What you mean with Florida State?
Florida State was a joke. Then Leonard Hamilton came in and turned that program around, gave them a culture. I know, like
they're still in there good. They had some good draft picks though.
Yeah, recently they have. Like, here's the thing. Like, I think it's easy to ride the coattails. It's easy to come to a situation that's already ready made and all the scouting, you know, is intact, and you already got this big reputation as this great school. It's harder to recruit when you've been known as a joke for a while. It's harder to recruit when you got to stay, you know, set the culture from the ground up. So I think Billy Donovan did something similar. I think, Chill, you probably talk more to that because that's actually around your time, right?
Well, Billy Donovan, I know he coached 17 or 18 years, something like that, at the University of Florida. Basically turned that program around because nobody wanted to go to the University of Florida. Nobody really cared about the University of Florida at that time. University of Florida is a football school, and Billy Donovan made them into a football school / basketball school, kind of like what's going on with Kentucky, except it was flipped around. Kentucky is a basketball school, but got turned into a football school too. Like, people actually watch Kentucky in terms of their football team. But Billy Donovan, I think where we get confused with Billy Donovan is you see what he got going on in the NBA and you think, well, wow, what is he doing in the Hall of Fame? And completely forgetting that it is the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's the accumulation of your entire career. And Billy Donovan is one of 3 coaches. He's one of 3 coaches to win the NCAA championship in back-to-back seasons. Mike Krzyzewski and the great John Wooden are the only 2 other guys who can say that they did that. Nobody else did that. And to win the NCAA tournament in back-to-back seasons is almost impossible to do, especially considering what the climate is at that time. So for him to do that is pretty impressive. On top of that, to be coaching in the SEC the way he coached in the SEC and to produce the type of pros that he produced, I mean, I think that's nothing short of fantastic. When he gets to the NBA, now don't get me wrong, he had a really good Oklahoma City team, which should have won the NBA championship. But let's not forget that he did coach that 2016, 2017 Oklahoma City team that had Russell Westbrook on it and won the league MVP. He coached them to the playoffs. It wasn't like Russell Westbrook just went out there and then that was it. No, he did coach them to the playoffs. That did happen.
I mean, I think the thing with Billy Donovan is, and shout out to Billy Donovan. I kind of want to touch on him being in Florida. Shout out to him changing the culture by recruiting players in the state of Florida too. Like, I think a lot of teams definitely like they be trash because they's looking outside of their backyard. Like, look in your backyard, go get some talent and watch what it do for your program.
I never understood that.
You played Division I before he took over in Florida. So he took over in 1996, right? And he coached until 2015 there. So you were in Division I basketball literally before he got there. I think I remember. So
that was my
what was the reputation of Florida before Billy Donovan got there? Can you take us back to that?
Well, they had gone to the Final Four and I want to say in 94, something like that, 94, but they weren't considered a basketball school. The guys that they had on that crew, it was ultimately a fluke. Like what they were known for, Vernon Maxwell went to the University of Florida. Yeah, that's what they was known for more than anything. Like Vernon Maxwell was in the NBA. He was on the Rockets championship team. He went to the University of Florida, but they weren't that big of a basketball school. They ended up going to the Final Four that year because I mean they were just on a high.
They were more of a football school.
They 100% were a football school up until even when Billy Donovan got there, they were a football school and they still were a football school when they were winning. But then Billy Donovan brings in guys like Udonis Haslem, right? He brings in guys like that. And now they start to turn this program around and they're in the NCAA championship in 2000. And now Florida looks like a place that, you know what? I want to go play there. I want to go play for him. And I can get to the pros playing for him. So, I mean, the University of Florida was a place that became a big-time basketball program, and that's largely due to Billy Donovan, considering what his pedigree was. He played at the University of Kentucky. I'm not Kentucky. I'm sorry. He played at Providence, coached under Rick Pitino, played for the Knicks for a season. So, I mean, with all of that being said, I mean, he ended up building up what was going on there. I thought he was going to be a college coach forever. I didn't think that he'd ever move to the pros. I thought that his niche was college. I was actually surprised when he moved to the pros.
I don't think he's been too bad in the pros, to be honest, either. Like I don't think
he has.
He's been all right. He's like, again, Lon Kruger was the coach when you were in Division I, and they had a couple runs with him. They lost in the first round in 95, and 94 they were in the national semifinal. But then with Billy Donovan, what they got was consistency. They got consistently great teams year after year after year, which culminated in 05 to 07 winning back-to-back, right? Winning 2 national championships. Again, it's not necessarily about, okay, they were so terrible without him. It's just they had no consistency. They were bad some years, good some years, in, out. There was like a ground-up approach. And the first few years of Billy Donovan were bad, like really bad. They were some of the worst years in Florida basketball, but they stuck with him. And he built that program up, built up his staff, built up the recruiting. And I just think culture building is such an important thing. And sometimes you got to take a step back to go take a step forward for sure.
Yeah. And you know, at that level, man, recruiting is so important. Like recruiting is super important, making sure you keep a good name and hiring the right staff. Because we all know, like in college, if one of your lower level assistants messed up, you got to answer for that. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Like recruiting is super important. Hiring the proper staff that's competent and trustworthy, that's super important. So I think having a head coaching job at any Division I, Division II, you know, college team it's just super important. You know that you're the right guy, you got a good head on your shoulder, and that you have the ability to delegate and recruit professionals. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Billy Donovan. I'm really happy that he made it. What I do need to do before
can I take a proposal? Can I have a proposal?
About what?
For college recruiting for basketball. I feel like we need to impose rules, especially since they're paying. Your college team need to at least have one player from that town or from that state, or from that city. well, if it's a trash city, surrounding city, to at least play on that team, at least one player.
I think your head's in the right place, Jordan. But I just think that's. I don't think you can necessarily do that because I don't know. I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it.
I just think
they're cracking down on NIL deals. That's going to change a lot. By the way, they are. There's some of these people. In light of all this Clippers drama with Kawhi Leonard, this no-show job. Some of these NIL deals be no-show jobs. Post once on social media, post 2 times on social media for $1 million. Now it has to pass the sniff test. And I think that's going to change how some teams have been recruiting because you got to get them legit sponsorships. You can't just
my thing with that pin is like, who are you to tell a company what is a legit sponsorship? If all I want you to do is post a couple times, that's all I need you to do.
Well, the concept here is that if a burger joint can pay a burger joint that makes $2 million a year is able to pay a star athlete $1 million a year to post once on social media.
No, that's bullshit. Now when you say it that way, Pin, next time lead with that. Because when you stay with that, that's completely understandable. That smells funny. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's doing something.
So that's the sniff test part of it, right? Like if the school, like NIL is supposed to be to help athletes benefit off of their name, image, and likeness. It is not meant to do what it's doing right now.
That ain't name, image, and likeness.
Which is basically treat athletes like professional basketball players. That's not what it was designed to do. That's what it's doing.
That whole thing needs to be worked out, and I'm sure they'll do it. I don't got the answers for that. But what I do have the answers for is that we are doing a disservice to the Hall of Fame right now because the GOAT of this Hall of Fame class, 4-time WNBA champion, 13-time WNBA All-Star, 5-time All WNBA first team, 3-time All WNBA second team, 3-time WNBA assist leader, 5-time EuroLeague champion, 2-time Euro Cup winner, 2-time NC2A champion, 3-time Nancy Lieberman Award, Naismith College Player of the Year in 2002, AP College Player of the Year in 2002, none other than the GOAT point guard, Miss Sue Bird, who just received also a statue in Seattle outside of the Climate Pledge Arena. I believe that's where it is. Used to be the Key Arena, if you're familiar. Miss Sue Bird is the freaking GOAT point guard. And y'all know I love Cynthia Cooper. I love Tisha Pinachero. I love all the great point guards. But Sue Bird is the one. Anybody have anything they want to say about
legend, man.
Is there a conversation like how we have like conversations about this person is the best 2-guard of all time, this person is the best, but like is there a legit conversation between, like, conversation isn't the word I'm looking for. What's the gap between Sue at the point guard spot and everybody else?
Just talent wise, I don't think the gap is very, very big at all. I mean, we got
resume wise,
amazing. Resume wise, longevity wise, the gap it's decent. I mean, it's decent. I mean, Diana Taurasi played a lot of point guard.
Chill. Can I give you the craziest?
So with that being said, chill. I don't. The gap is huge. She's the GOAT point guard in my eyes. Go ahead, Pin.
Right.
Chill. Can I give you the craziest Sue Bird stat? It's not even the craziest, but it's absolutely insane if you really think about it. Do you know what this young lady at the time averaged in her final 3 collegiate years from 3? Do you know what she shot from 3? Go ahead.
I'm gonna guess off the top of my head. She shot on volume, I'm gonna say 41, 46, 45. I'm just guessing.
Average it out. Give me one number.
44.
Higher. Can you believe that? Can you believe that shit?
So from sophomore to senior year,
she shot 46.5% from 3 in her final 3 years.
So 47% for her from sophomore, junior, and senior year.
Damn near 50. 47%. Shit, damn, going there, damn near 100. She basically didn't miss.
I mean, she was a hell of a shooter, but her court vision. Her court vision, second to none. She had court vision. I compare to Jason Kidd. I mean, I've seen Sue Bird make passes, bounce passes where the players here, she's leading. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I look at Sue Bird in a Jason Kidd light when it comes to her court vision, her distribution, her passing, her ability to penetrate the defense, also a shooter. Like, Sue Bird is just one of those players you just love to watch, man. I've always been a big fan of Sue Bird. I used to love being able to go watch her play any chance I could. But Sue Bird is one of my favorite players of all time, 100%. And that's not just WNBA. I'm talking about in basketball in general. She's one of my favorite players.
She's one of those players that if you are a ball player, you want to play with her. That's who she is. She's one of those players that if you're a two guard, if you're big, you want to play with her because number one, you know you're going to get the ball. Number two, we're going to run. We're going to play the style of play that I want to play, and I know that I'm going to flourish playing with her because, one, she's going to keep the defense honest. So it's not going to be a lot of double teams on you because she's going to make sure that the defense is honest. Number two, there's nobody that can stay in front of her. As small as she is, she had that acceleration, especially with her strong hand. She had that acceleration to get into the lane and drop the ball off to whomever she needed to drop the ball off, even if she didn't have to drop the ball off, just to score the basketball. She had that kind of game. Now when you're asking her to slow the game down and be smart, she knew exactly who to go to. When she had Tina Charles running with her, Tina Charles was that kind of player who you could dump it into her, but she knew exactly when to dump it into her. She knew how to get her switched on to people to get her the basketball. Sue Bird was fantastic as a lead guard. I love everything about her.
Her and Lauren Jackson was amazing. Her and Brown Stewart was amazing. Sue Bird's just great, man. She's great.
She makes other people so much better. I'm actually working on a video essay right now about the 7 levels of basketball IQ. Shameless plug. And I go from the novice, the emulator, the pawn, the mad scientist, the trader, the surgeon, and the savant. She is a savant. Kid is a savant. Rondo is a savant. Like, these people they're manipulating the entire court with how they're doing things, and they're using their advantages. They're not just getting advantages for themselves. Shout outs to Kawhi Leonard. They're getting advantages for the entire team. Like, they are shifting entire defenses with a look, shout outs to Sue Bird, man. She's great.
Yes, she's the
no
real
doubt.
deal.
Yo, listen,
yes, she is.
I do got to get the super chats. Did I forget anything? Did I forget anybody? If so, let me know, y'all.
Well, yes. I don't know if you guys know this, but Wemby has been spotted. Wemby has been spotted in the gym, and it's not unusual to be spotted in the gym as a professional basketball player. But Wemby this summer, you saw him with Kevin Garnett. In the process of seeing him with Kevin Garnett, you also saw him working. Yeah, you also saw him working with Monks. He was spotted in the gym with Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here? Is Wemby trying to corner the market? Is Wemby trying to get as much information as he can possibly get? So when the time comes, I will be ready.
Because I think to watch Jordan's video breakdown on him yesterday. That was great.
I think the thing we don't
appreciate that, Penn. I'm known as a Wemby hater now, by the way.
Too bad.
I think the thing we don't recognize, and I really appreciate this about Wemby, is young guys actually reaching out to older guys to get some information. That's probably the most important thing when you're trying to be a pro. I've said this, I'm on record saying this, that when I come to the NBA, I'm not a pro. I got pro potential. It's your job to teach me the pro game. So when you got guys like when I have access to Hakeem Olajuwon, if I can get Hakeem Olajuwon on the phone and I can get in the gym with him, I'm 100% doing that. And I'm saying this right now, Swiper. Let me find out that Amin Thompson is in the gym with Scottie Pippen. Boy, it's going to be something. It's going to be some smoke.
Being a great player doesn't necessarily make you a great teacher. And I'm curious, Cho, of all the players who have paid Hakeem Olajuwon's exorbitant training fee, which includes, by the way, Dwight Howard, how many of those players do you believe have successfully gotten significantly better? The only player I can really think of was Kobe. Kobe really got better on the box.
Oh, LeBron.
LeBron worked with Hakeem. Did I miss this?
Yeah,
and he got better. So what I'm hearing from you is that you got to be pretty great to learn from Hakeem.
Like, well, no, because
if you're in the gym with Hakeem and you can't pick up none of those post work, that's your problem.
Yeah, but
JaVale McGee worked with
should Wemby be working?
Yes, because Wemby needs to learn how to work on that block. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hell yeah. He needs to learn angles and posting up and catching the ball. And really for Wemby, that's why he should really be working with Hakeem, because where Hakeem used to kill you is when he catches the ball, but when he get that deep position, but he used to jump to the ball, catch it, and open up.
Face up, yeah.
See, I also think that work with Dirk. I think we're looking at women. I think we're looking at this Olajuwon thing completely different. You know how I feel about Olajuwon. I think he's the best defensive player in NBA history. So that's what we should be working on. So sitting down, watching tape with him, getting in the gym with Olajuwon, and understanding angles, understanding when to jump, instinct, understanding how to be. Let's not forget, Olajuwon is one of the best rebounders in NBA history. Understanding rebounding, understand positioning, understanding momentum in terms of blocking shots. I'll smack that shit into the third row, but I can also smack it to the ground and get us running, right? So stuff like that, understanding how to play off of a guy, understanding which hand to use to close out, understanding which hand to use to block shots. I think that when we see Olajuwon working with guys, we automatically think going to the block and block work and forgetting Olajuwon's I think he's the best defensive player in NBA history. And if I'm a big and I want to be a better defender, that's 100%.
I don't know, but chill, I don't know if I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not in those sessions, but I don't never really see him working on defense. It's really hard to work on defense too, one-on-one. But I will say, I don't mind Wemby working with Hakeem. I think guys he should work with is guys like maybe Paul Gasol, maybe Dirk Nowitzki, and another one is Ralph Sampson. Their game is more similar to each other than Hakeem. I just feel like with Wemby, like some of the stuff I look at it as the Spurs. Maybe they were experimenting, like I keep saying, we speculating with all of that. I don't know if they were experimenting or not, but I feel like Wemby has so many things he has to work on. So for them to experiment, to me, the wrong way is kind of crazy. But just the main part for Wemby is to be able to catch the ball and stop thinking he can dribble at 7'3". Like just catch, turn, and just shoot over the top. He gets in trouble when he starts trying to put the ball on the floor, trying to take you to the basket. Like, brother, you know how hard it is for a 7'3" man to put the ball behind his back? Like, in the little guard ain't gonna come steal that shit. Like, it's very difficult. So I think the little small stuff, he needs the small work, just catch, turn, and shoot over the top, catch and fade, those type of block work. I think him working with Dirk would be even better than Hakeem, to be real. Because Hakeem had more hand, like Hakeem was 6'10" with a good handle for a big. He was like agile. He can get all the way to the rim with his moves. Dirk. Not saying that Dirk couldn't get to the rim, but we know Dirk's specialty was he gonna shoot it over the top.
But it's the little things though you picking up. I'm not saying he should go and learn and try to be doing Hakeem shakes and rip through, spin move, all that. I'm not saying that. It's more so for me when you're that size, it's more so about working early, finding different angles to catch the ball. You know what I mean? And chill with the defense thing too. I think a lot of that would be from maybe Hakeem sitting down watching film with him and pointing things out. You know what I'm saying? Just pointing things out on. For me, it's always just about working early. I'm a work early merchant when it comes to basketball. You know what I'm saying?
If you could put Wemby in the gym with one of these players, who would you pick? Hakeem Olajuwon, Rasheed Wallace, Kevin Garnett,
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Jason Kidd. You would pick Hakeem. So that's so interesting. I wouldn't pick. What if I include Scottie Pippen in this?
Hakeem Olajuwon
to work specifically on defense.
We're just talking just defense.
Just defense.
Just defense.
Mm-hmm.
Olajuwon or KG. Yeah.
So I don't think I would pick Olajuwon. I'll tell you why. I think Olajuwon is one of the most physically gifted. One of the most physically gifted defenders of all time. I think his hand-eye coordination is next level. I think a lot of that stuff comes down to instinct as opposed to understanding of angles and, like using like basketball IQ as opposed to basketball talent.
Yeah, but wait,
that's the game slower defensively.
I think that's the part right there, what you just said. When you've been playing basketball for so long and you just do things naturally, eventually along the way, people point that stuff out to you and you realize so like it's times you might be in practice and the coach is like, oh, do this, and you're like, why you gotta tell them that shit? Like, that's so obvious, right? And you realize, damn, I'm kind of advanced at this shit. And then you start learning what you do. And it's like, then you add that. Like, hey, you might not know this. I know this off of instinct, but I'm gonna teach it to you. So when you can learn, when you can just pick up stuff naturally and you didn't have to be taught that, but you can recognize that, it turns you to a good teacher. You're like, hey, bro, why aren't you doing this? And they might be like, well, I didn't even know I could do that. You know what I'm saying?
To your point, Ox, I think the most difficult part of being a great player is you expect people to learn like you do. And I think that's where the divide comes in, right? So that's why guys like Jordan and it takes an immense amount of patience, because I'm sorry, Ox. I ain't as fast as you are. I don't pick things up as quickly as you do. It might take a second.
Yeah.
But great players like Olajuwon, great players like Jordan, these guys are quick studies. We don't have to go over things 4, 5, 6, 7 times, which would explain why when they get in the gym with people, they expect them to pick it up like that too. Which is why.
Well, I mean,
which I feel like really quickly,
like
Kobe.
If he was alive, I think Kobe could have. I think Kobe could have taught you Michael's moves better than Michael could have taught you Michael's moves.
Because he's more patient.
Wait, chill. What you saying about Hakeem though? Like, what do you think as far as him teaching?
Well, the reason why is him in his advanced age, and in my advanced age, I'm a little bit different now than I was as a competitor. I'm always going to be a competitor on some level, sure, but in my advanced age, I'm recognizing that I'm 60 years old and I have to be more patient, which would explain why. With him being more patient, he does get the results. And people go back, just so we clear, guys don't just go to Hakeem Olajuwon just to go to him. It's word of mouth. People are telling people, yo, go talk to Hakeem. This is what he's working on with me. Go talk to Hakeem. This is the stuff that he showed me. He could really help you with this. It's not just because it's Hakeem Olajuwon. Because we got great players in the game, Ox, who we could call them up, but they don't get nearly as many calls as Olajuwon. So it's obvious that he's doing something right. And I think that's largely due to his patience as a teacher.
No doubt. Well, I think that's pretty dope. Either way, though, like to your question, Pin. Either way, if he worked with any of those guys, I just think it's good to work with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're great, like Wemby is, to be humble enough to know, like, there's other things I can learn. And my thing is, even if you don't play exactly like somebody, you could pick stuff up from everybody. So I would love to see him in there with Rasheed, KG, Nash, Pippen, anybody that wants to teach, anybody that's willing to give some game and pass on what they learn from people. I think that's great. Either way, and I think it's great for youngsters to know that I got to learn from older people.
Yeah, this might be an uncomfortable amount of glaze, but when I was 16, when Wemby was 16, when I was 16, when Wemby was 16, I listened to a couple of interviews with him because I was curious who this guy shooting baskets with Rudy Gobert, who was taller than Rudy Gobert was. And the first thing that I noticed was he's really smart, like really smart. So my thought was from the ages of 16 to 25, what I hope this kid, if he stays humble, gets is loads of experiences, loads of exposure to different sets, different play types, different influences, different coaches. I don't want to get stuck or stagnant. And thankfully, he hasn't gotten stuck or stagnant. I think there's an experimentation of your game part. You need to figure out who you are as a basketball player. And sometimes coaches be very, very quick to put you in a box and say, that's your role, do that. And they try to make you robotic. But I think that, like you need to experiment with high turnovers. To Jordan, I was watching Jordan's breakdown of like why is he doing some of the stuff that he's doing? Why is he pulling up when he could easily, why is he the ball handler when he could be the roll man? And I think that it's really important for your brain at this age, like when he's so young, because his potential is so immense, that A, he stay healthy, that B, he stay committed and humble, but also like C, that he get loads of exposure. So I think the time with Hakeem, maybe he picks up 4 things from Hakeem in a week, but those 4 things, because he's smart, he's going to use them really, really well. I'm not going to be shocked if he wins MVP this year. I'm not kidding.
My thing is, I got a question too for y'all. Like, what are y'all like? Are y'all okay with the shot selection from Wemby, like his overall shot diet? Like,
yes, I am. Because I understand. Listen, I remember Stan Van Gundy. He had this rant. Stan Van Gundy loves rants, and it was on a basketball clinic that I was attending, and he said that a lot of like coaches, they teach winning too early, right? And I know that sounds very counterintuitive and very stupid because everyone's like, it's all about winning.
It doesn't sound stupid at all, man. That makes perfect sense.
I think some people say, but like, shouldn't you be teaching grade 6 and grade 7 players to win? And they're like, no, you need to teach them the game. You need to teach them who they are in the game. And he said, sometimes we get these 7'1" guys, and these coaches are like, oh my God, I got this 7'1" guy. Let me go win 32-0. And let me put him on the box and let me, limit his game. But it's like, you're not letting that kid shoot threes. You're not letting that kid ball handle and dribble, because you see how he can help you as opposed to how you can help him. And I think that this is important for the Spurs to not rush this process. They're not contenders right now. It doesn't matter. You need to give him time to figure out who he is.
Not according to the masses. Not according to the masses. Wemby's going to be the defensive player of the year. There's people that think he can be the league MVP. And when that happens, that means this team this team's got to get better. Which I mean, don't get me
They
wrong.
have gotten
get
better.
better.
They have
Yeah.
gotten better, Chill. But like the
They
rate
100%
of getting
they have.
better, like you know that the old thing, hurry along but don't rush.
Yes.
Yeah, hurry it along, but don't rush the development.
Let's get this moving.
But
he's
I don't think that's
21 years old.
development. Him running pick and roll at 7'3" as the primary ball handler, I just don't think
But
that
that's
you need to develop
but
that.
that's the forest and the trees argument. Like if you believe that they think long term that's something they want him to do as a go-to play type, I don't think that's what they're doing. If that's something you want him to figure out, that you want him to figure out that area on the court so he is a better basketball player overall. Like sometimes you want your center to run point guard in practice just so he understands the other side of the court. Not because
I get that, not at 7'3" though.
Well, but with that
does he
Pin, so
move
it's
like a 7'3"? He's
if
not
you're-
moving like Rick Smith's out there.
But
mean,
Pin, if you're talking about freshman
Move, man.
basketball, then yeah, I get that. Like at the freshman JV level, yeah, like we need to be teaching these kids how to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Winning the most teams in your freshman conference, that really ain't gonna mean nothing when these kids got to go play varsity basketball in a year or two, right? So I definitely dig that. But when we're talking about at this stage in the NBA, last season, the season before, whatever, okay, the Spurs have gotten a lot better. I don't think the Spurs should be doing any type of experimenting. I think they should be looking to win basketball games and letting their players know, like we're good enough to start competing. Let's start. We probably won't win the championship this year, but we can make a push. They can make a push. I think they got enough talent already.
I think the trade for Fox tells you they agree with you, but like at the same time, like he was in his second year last year, right?
Yes, year 2.
You just said he could be MVP though, Pin.
In
So
year three.
Year 3.
Year 3. But there's a lot of development.
this
I mean,
year,
his
so
own account is to be believed. He's 250 right now. 250. I think.
Wait. So Pin, maybe I'm confused. Are you saying that was the right thing to do then, or are you saying that now they should still be kind of?
No, I firmly believe, depending on, again, it depends player to player. Like there are certain players, like, no offense, Terrence Ross, Harrison Barnes, they come into the league, put them to use right away into their role player future archetype. Okay. But then there are certain players like Paolo, Cade, Wemby, etc., that have such immense upside that you do have to let them find their game, which means more turnovers, which means, more experimentation, which means more losses, unfortunately. So I think, a lot of these generational types, unless you're Tim Duncan, you're going to lose a lot of games early on, right? You're going to try a lot of stuff. You're going to fail a lot. I think this year, Wemby is the first year that he's ready to like compete.
With the same shot diet, Pin?
No, the shot diet's going to change.
So you got a problem with the shot diet then?
But I don't have a problem with the shot diet because I understand why the shot diet existed. Just the same reason I don't have a problem with Scotty Barnes' shot diet last year. The same reason I don't have a problem with Lauri Markkanen's shot diet last year. I understand what these coaches are doing. They're developing. And sometimes people are not comfortable.
Now, how you developing that? And he need to develop.
See, here's the thing. Like most people assume that development happens in high school or grade school or collegiate level or in the G League.
In the pros too.
It happens in the pros.
Of course it does. That's why I'm confused on why they trying to
unfortunately, when you're a contender, when you're a contender like the Detroit Pistons in 2004, you really don't have time for Darko Milicic to figure out who the hell he is. So you try to use him into a very limited role. He doesn't figure out his game. He becomes frustrated and he quits on basketball. Right?
This ain't that situation anymore, though, Pin. And this ain't that situation anymore. They're not.
He's using that as an example, though. I think he's using that as an
I understand, but if you use an example, it should match up. This team isn't the 2004 Pistons, though, Chill. And so it's like they're good, though. And he's much further along than Darko Milicic.
Also, we gotta specify what development is, Chill. Like, to me, I don't think development needs to be a 7'3" guy playing point guard. Like, why is that development?
Well, that guy Foxy, he's not playing.
He doesn't play point guard. He's a jump shooter. No. He's a primary jump shooter.
Ball handler a lot of times. But
I'm saying, but he's a primary jump shooter right now, and then like he's working on his mid range and 3 because he's really good at it. So like I think some of this is you want him to be on the interior more and scoring on the box. I think he'll get better at that as time goes on. But he also is one of the best jump shooters in the league as well. So like,
do y'all remember
trying to cultivate both of those things?
Y'all remember early Dirk? People were saying he'd be out of the league in a couple of years. He was horrible. But why was he horrible? Because he was unique and he was too weak, frankly, to impose his will on the game.
He said he got pushed around. He did.
He did get pushed around and he got better. And by like I think 4 years into his career, he was an all-star. right? So the process came along slowly. There's a lot of players, they come in ready to play right away. Luka, that's an example, right? But Luka had plenty of time to experiment with his game when he was 13, 14. He was just ahead of the curve. LeBron James, same thing. LeBron James maybe didn't need the same level of experimentation, but we don't know how many of these players would have had a very different trajectory had they been allowed to experiment a little bit more. And I just
think that's what that's to Penn's point where he's talking about when he talks about Milicic. Like if Milicic Darko Milicic, if he ended up going to play somewhere else, like Charlotte, where he was going to get an opportunity to develop his game, we probably would have seen a different guy. Prime example is your man in Golden State. What does Jonathan Kuminga look like if he ended up in Washington, as opposed to playing on the Warriors, where there is no time? Like, we got to learn this stuff now. And he clearly wasn't prepared to learn this stuff now. And that's why we have him in the space that we have him at. Wemby, on the other hand, like if Wemby, as good a talent as Wemby is, right? As good a talent as Wemby is, if we put Wemby in a situation where the process has to get rushed and Wemby has to now learn and we can't experiment nearly as much, do we get the same Wemby that we're going to get in the future? Or do we get a Wemby that's partially that?
I think we're talking past points. I think we're talking past points because I'm also not saying that the Spurs shouldn't develop, man. I just think the way that they're developing him in certain things, I think maybe hopefully they just trying it out and never going to use that. Like, hopefully that's the case, because
I mean, unless it works,
they don't really.
Hasn't he gotten better at the things you think he's bad at, though, Jordan? Like for instance, like initially in his rookie season, we were seeing him taking a lot of jump shots, early jump shots. I think last year to start out, he was taking a lot of threes. People were like, what the hell are they doing with Wemby? They've done a lot of experimentation with him, with Jeremy Sohan. I'm sure they're going to do a lot of experimentation also with Dylan Harper. This is just the way they do it. They make you look bad. They pull you down to build you up. And honestly, maybe some part of it is humbling you as well. Like showing you what you can't do.
I don't think it's important. I think but that's what I'm saying. Like when I was watching like how the Spurs use him, like they had designed plays for him to be the receiver of a dribble handoff, and then he's coming off and shooting it like he's Steph and Clay. Like, yeah, he can shoot. Like, yes, he can shoot threes. He don't necessarily have to shoot them threes.
Well, maybe he wants to shoot threes, and they need to show him why he can't. Like, do you know what I mean?
I know.
So sometimes there's like a player at the end of the bench who thinks
my point. Yes, pardon? I said I think you're skipping over my point. Yes, I want him to shoot threes. Mm-hmm. Those kind of threes, he don't need to. Yes, I want him to handle the ball. Those kind of ball handling duties, he don't have to develop that. And he can still be a 30-point scorer.
You're thinking of this in a very lateral way, which is if he's doing something, it means he has to become good at it and do it more. And I'm saying that's not always how development works. Sometimes development is you do something so you don't do it anymore. And that's what I'm talking about. He was
never really doing that, though.
Okay, there's an example of, unfortunately, it's a Raptor-specific example of Chris Boucher, right? Chris Boucher was very late to pick up basketball. He was like 24, 25 years old before he became like really good at basketball. And then he ended up in the NBA. So he always took like crazy erratic shots and always
Oregon.
He was great. He was cool, but he was late to basketball in the sense that like he wasn't really highly scouted or whatever. He was a late bloomer. So he gets to the league, he wins championships, etc. But he always has this erratic shot selection. So in Tampa, they gave him a chance to be the man. They literally gave him a chance. They're like, do whatever the fuck you want. And then he found out he can't do it. And he became a much better player after that. He had this moment where he's like, okay, it's not a conspiracy that they're giving Pascal Siakam these jump shots and OG Anunoby my starting spot. That's not a conspiracy. Those guys are legitimately good. And I always think that I'm better than those guys, but I'm not. And this is like with Wemby, maybe he is a little bit more finesse. I think we can agree that Wemby likes to take jump shots. Wemby likes to fade away. Maybe Wemby's trying to figure out his game. So now you show him, like, you don't have to prove it. You can prove it to him now. You can say, listen, we don't want you doing pull-up jumpers off the left block. And Wemby be like, but I want to take pull-up jumpers off the left block. It's like, you shot 22%. You see what I mean? Like
are you sure he wants to do that?
Half the battle with half the problem with development is the friction. You want a player to do something, but they don't think they're supposed to do it. So they don't buy in completely. Now you can get complete buy-in. And the point here is whether the guy ever becomes a good pull-up jump shooter, let's just be honest. If he becomes a pull-up jump shooter, it's lights out for the league, right? So it's a pretty good bet. Okay.
And to your point, Drench, when you see a guy, especially as a coach, don't you want me, especially in my development? Wemby's 22 years old. It's not like Wemby been in the league 8-9 years. He's 22 years old. Don't you want to see him do these things and not be good at it and show it to him. Okay, this is what you're not good at, as opposed to just completely restricting them from that.
I think
I want to show you that. Okay, once you shooting jump shots, okay, this is what you look like shooting jump shots. I want to show you this is what you look like as a ball handler here, as opposed to here.
Yeah,
I don't want to completely take that out of your game.
I think y'all are right in that aspect. I just don't think that that's what's going on. I don't think it was Wemby's idea to say, I'm a 7'3" pick and roll ball handler. Like, I don't think that was his idea. I think that's by design for the Spurs to see if they can get the most out of his ball handling abilities. Now, the problem with that is you're looking at a guy. Yeah, they experiment. You're looking at a guy who's 7'3", and they see him like Wemby is amazing. He can do amazing things with the ball. He can shoot. He's a really good shooter. I think sometimes people try to get too innovative in a way and say, well, he can shoot it this well. Let's get him more threes. So to try to get him more threes, let's run him off of dribble handoffs. And it's like, you don't necessarily have to get him more threes that way. Like to me, this is my problem with this. And this is why I was saying this is development in the way that they're doing. If they're experimenting, that's whatever. I just don't think you should be experimenting for stuff like this when Wemby still has to work on the things that he's already really good at and that could help him right now today. He still has to work on learning how to post up, like Ox talk about, doing your work early, learning how to just catch the ball, turn, and shoot over the top. If he had those already and then we moved over to those stuff and say, let's try this, I could understand. But where I'm not understanding is he doesn't have those basic things yet in his bag to try to move over to pick and roll.
That's why we're working with Olajuwon, because we're getting that.
Yeah, but like to work it, you know how hard it is to be good in pick and roll, chill? You would know. Like, that's hard. So to think, first of all, I just think it's almost impossible for a guy 7'3" handling the ball and pick and roll to be good. Like, the way you move is just not necessary. Like, it's too big. So that's my only thing when it comes down to it.
Did you watch him for the Mets 92? Did you watch that season?
I didn't watch the season. I saw a couple of things about him. Okay. He was kind of playing a little shaky, but
so I scout the draft. So I watched him in Mets 92. He was doing a lot of ball handling, bro. That was fuck out of the way Wemby exhibition tour for him and Bilal Coulibaly. He was pick and roll ball handler. He was handling the ball on the fast break. He was crossing guys up. That's where the hype comes from.
That was a big part of his selling point. Was his ball handling ability in the open court and in the half.
Yeah, you can do that you can do that over there.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, you know, you got to find out if he can. You cannot sell this short. The payoff is too large. There is a way to use Wemby, which is he probably win MVP like 16 different ways. He's very unique in that way. He can win MVP on defensive impact alone. He can win MVP as a rim runner. He can become the greatest version of Tyson Chandler in human history. Plus, he can hit threes. You know what I mean? But there's also a chance to make him more guard adjacent. And that is truly where you start hitting greatest player of all times type of stuff. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm saying he could be. And I think anyone who says he can't be is completely blind. Like,
I mean, but to your point, even at that Metro thing, he was very poor at handling the ball and pick and roll.
I think for his position, he's incredible. Forget 7'5". I'm saying for a big, he's awesome. He's an awesome ball handler.
Yes, we are at the point, y'all, where we just kind of I think we stuck in our opinions now instead of we got it now. Let's wait, see what happens forward, and we can decide from there. I agree with you, Jordan, on a lot of what you're saying. With what Wemby's doing, but I understand where you're coming from, Penn. If that's how they develop, that's how they develop.
Are you going for the hosting hat trick? Are you about to go for the hosting hat trick? I don't know what that means. You got the ad reads done on time. You diffused all the conflict. Are you about to get us out on time?
Well, remember, out on time is different today than it usually is. We started 15 minutes late because I got to do kid drop off and whatnot. But I think we can get that done.
Hold on. Before we move on, I do want to hear what Mars got to say about the Wemby thing because he asked me a question on Twitter, and I wanted to see how do Mars feel about what the Spurs doing Wemby. I just want to know that.
I can be quick, Ox. I'm with Penn in the fact that I think the last 2 years have been developmental for not just Wemby, but for the Spurs, like the Sohan at point guard experiment in Wemby's rookie year, etc. I think they know they weren't winning much, so why not see where you can go with this Wemby ball handling stuff? But I also remember this might have been before the panel when it was the PC Wednesday and Sunday show. Ox might remember. I was very passionately saying Wemby's ball handling would not be what people thought it would be in the NBA. It was the thing I said was probably the biggest difference between my evaluation of Wemby as a prospect and other people's, because you're 7'4", it's functionally just not going to be very possible. So I agree with Jordan's point that in the grand scale of things, Wemby's not going to be a 7'4" Kevin Durant. That's just not what he's going to be his most impactful. But I do think, to Penn's point, you can explore that in the years where you aren't trying to win anything and see where it can go. It's a great tertiary option for Wemby to have. Late clock situation, you have a guy at 7'4" who can get the ball, 2 dribbles, get to a spot and rise up. Now he has to add the mid-range proficiency to his game, which gets to a point of working with a guy like Dirk, maybe working with a guy like KD. But I'm all for exploring all possible avenues. I think long-term, when Wemby's trying to win championships and the Spurs are trying to win, you're going to see him used more traditionally. And all of these extra skills are going to be stuff that is like, he can do it, but we're not asking him to do it. It's going to be a lot of pick and rolls. It's going to be a lot of playing out the dunker spot. It's going to be a lot of post-ups. And then you're going to see the pick and pop stuff. And the offensive rebounds. He's going to average like 26 off like being created for him. And then post-ups is like his only self-created offense. And he's going to be amazing doing it. Everything else is just going to be extra. So yeah, that's where I stand on Wemby.
And to be clear,
year, I think you're going to be a more refined game.
And Mars, to be clear, and Penn as well too. Like I said, I'm not necessarily crying about that. I just feel like he has so many things that I feel like that he's going to be, that they're going to need him for, that they still need to develop. I think they're kind of like overlooking that and saying, let's try this. And it's like, no, wait, before we try this, at least get him the basics. Like Wemby right now is getting off of, he's incredibly talented. He's incredibly skilled, but he doesn't have the IQ yet. That's number one. And he just doesn't have the basic things. And I'm not shocked because he's 7'4". Like, he's 7'4", and he's an anomaly in basketball. Like, of course he doesn't have the basic things because he didn't need it to get by. His defense alone is just out of this world. So that gets him on the floor, which I had no idea. I have no reason why to believe he was playing behind Kostas Antetokounmpo when he was in the EuroLeague, which is crazy as a motherfucker, by the way. But at the same time, Wemby needs just a turnaround jump hook or catch the ball, being able to post up without somebody pushing him out, just catch it. And instead of dribbling, just, right over the top, like sealing in the middle. Like, he needs those basic things before we can say, try him on the perimeter. Or just a simple, put him on a short corner, give him the ball, let him jab and just shoot over the top. Now what Wemby is trying to do, he gets catching these balls and he putting his head down and trying to ram against somebody. And it's like, brother, you 135 pounds and 7'4". Like, even if he was heavy, how much like, if I'm Giannis guarding you, you're not making me go nowhere. Like, with them little bitty shoulders, like, that's not gonna work. Like, simple things is all I was talking about.
He getting older. He's getting older. He's getting stronger. He's getting, he's getting thicker.
Man, he couldn't move.
To Jordan's point, he only shot 5 hook shots last year.
That's not enough, Mars. That's ridiculous, man.
That's crazy.
The dude, when he puts his arms up, I think he's got a 10-foot.
He's got an 8-foot wingspan, so he's
got an 8-foot
wingspan.
Right, he should that should be already in his game. That should already be in his game. Like,
that's what I'm saying. He doesn't know though, Chill. He don't
brick
know.
By brick, yo. Like when did Jordan get like really good on the box?
Penn, you can't wait a second, just real quick.
The development cycle of a big and a guard on.
But we can, regardless though, we cannot act like this dude shooting 4 hook shots.
It's not a problem.
Like 5. Okay, like Penn, I understand everything you said, and I hear you. Once again, I want to say I agree that everybody doesn't develop the same. But at some point, we got to understand you are the tallest man in the world. Okay.
Yep.
You can throw a hook shot. Everything don't got to be all the.
Nobody can get to that.
Nobody be like, hey, Wemby, stop doing that. We need you to shoot more threes.
Right.
In fact, go to him again.
Yes, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? Let's do that some more, But fellas, we do got to get to these super chats. I wish we could talk more about Wemby. I think he's going to be a great player. He's already a great player. I'm excited for this season. And you know what? What's even better about that is Victor Wembanyama is going to make y'all pay attention to De'Aaron Fox. We got a super chat from Davo. He says, Swiper said last Friday that we should pay to be on call in show to debate topics. Run it. How much? Giannis is greater than Jokic. Come at me, Swiper. Oh, respectfully. We already talked about something similar to this earlier. You want to get up here. You want to debate Swiper. You want to debate Penn. You want to debate Mars. You want to debate Jordan or Chill. Become a Hall of Fame tier member. Get up here on Fridays. Get up here on Playback. We'll be on Playback tonight at 7 p.m.
I got a show that we should pitch. I don't know who would run it, but we should have a show where you get to super chat your debate time, and when you super chat, like we give you a clock. So if you super chat like above $10, we give you like 2 minutes to come up and just have a debate. I think it would be quite popular. We can call it Penn versus the world.
Hit Dave, hit Ron. I'm pretty sure.
Shout out to Penn versus the world.
We had the show called Somebody versus the World before.
Yes, we did.
These Wemby hook shots I'm watching, by the way, most of them aren't even hooks; they're floaters.
For sure, for sure.
So what we not? So Mars, are you telling me that we're not getting Wemby getting big on the box real quick?
No.
Yeah, it's him facing up, driving, then turning his back and then shooting a floater.
Jordan,
but they're calling them
Drench. Drench, you are a coach. How many times have you told a big guy when you get big, right? Throw the ball into him, something quick over the left shoulder, over the right shoulder.
Hey, bro, I don't just teach bigs that. I teach guards that. Like, bro, I teach rim run. One thing you're gonna learn from me, I'm a rim run merchant. I feel like if ain't nobody in that lane, somebody need to be rim running right there by the box, test hook right over the top. I teach cut on that baseline. If the dude is trailing you and he right there close to you, sit down right there. Boom, layup. Yeah. What you gonna do? I don't care how tall you are.
Rim running is crucial for basketball. You need to occupy the paint. Like, that's just
the middle of the floor.
When I played in high school and in junior college, I got a lot of buckets just rim running. Just running.
That's it. Just take off. Boy, you good. I will say, when I was watching Wemby film, I know I got to get back to Super Chat, but I was watching Wemby film, bro. I was just highly I started to realize this when I started to see this ain't just Wemby. This is the Spurs saying, try this. When they start going to that, put the guards at the elbow and run a dribble handoff where Wemby come off of it, I'm like, okay, I thought I saw it one time. Then I saw it like 30 times. I'm like, no way, this is y'all set play.
No, they're exploring Wemby's skill set, which I would also be doing. Maybe not
like
some things I wouldn't do. Some things I wouldn't do, but I don't work for the Spurs. So
I think it was okay for the time being. I think they're a better team now, and I think they need to start playing basketball.
I'll be very surprised if
everyone's basketball coverage is skewed by a bias, past bias, present bias, future bias. I think the Spurs have a future bias. I think they're more concerned with who Wemby's going to be 3 years from now than what he can do with him today. And I think, Jordan, you're talking with a present bias, which is you're looking at this guy who's 7'4" and a really great player right now. You're like, he could be awesome right now.
But I think a lot of it has to do with just seeing what's been happening and seeing what's happening and seeing what's gonna happen. And I think you can have a bias for the past, present,
and future. Yeah. I would agree with that.
I think some of us can see things and take into account the whole equation. We're not all narrow-minded. You know what I'm saying? I think it's okay. And I didn't say you were. That wasn't me saying that.
No, I didn't assume that.
I'm saying that we can. I think that it's about time that we stop thinking we're a 7-7 shooting guard.
Hey, chill and swipe. I got a question. What's the
hold on.
Yeah, see, now Jordan trying to make sure we don't get out here on time. That's what
you got to go.
I just had a question. I got
a question 10 minutes ago.
I got to get to the gym and get to pick up my kids on time.
We gotta go.
Also, to that other super chat, it's only $100 for a walkthrough, man. You know what to do. From MTHJ301, Wemby training org needs to be studied. Crawford, Duncan, the Monks, KG, and Hakeem. If Spurs secure top 5 seed, Wemby locked for MVP and DPOY.
I forgot about the Jamal Crawford.
Why the Jamal Crawford one? That's what I'm saying. Why Jamal Crawford, bro?
I love that.
He played too much. And Wemby just played too much. What you doing with
Jamal Crawford one is crazy.
That's crazy.
It's not that crazy.
Wait. I do have a cool question for y'all. Just yes or no. If the Spurs are a top 5 seed, does that lock Wemby for anything or?
DPOY.
No.
He's
They
already
don't
locked.
lock for nothing.
DPOY. That's it.
When he plays 65 games, I think he's a locked defensive player of the year. But MVP,
But if he averages 25,
I don't think you can be a lock for that. I don't think you can.
But if he averages 25 and they improve how they're expected to improve, like let's
He's
just be
not.
honest.
He's not sniffing
No,
top three.
nobody.
I don't think you can be a lock for an MVP with a league with Jokic.
They're bored of Jokic. You already
They're
won
not.
them.
He's not sniffing top 3 in MVP. It's just
And
not.
first of all, they're not bored. They're not bored with Jokic. He finished second in league MVP votes. They're not bored.
They are bored of Jokic. Let's just be
No,
real.
they're not.
They do the same thing to
Jokic might
LeBron.
win it again.
Jokic don't win
We're
MVP
done.
one time, and now they bored of him.
Twice. Not twice.
Well,
Twice.
he didn't deserve it
Him
5
second
times in a
both
row.
those years, by the way.
LG says Embiid in his dirt bag playing in the post. Wowzers.
That would be nice for Embiid. Embiid just got to lose weight, bro. I'm so sick of him just looking just so.
What's a good weight for him? What's a good weight for him, Drink?
I don't know how much he weighed now. 300 pounds.
I think
like
Embiid looked
255.
in fine shape in 2024. To be fair.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I don't know. And that is funny because Embiid's so good that like Ox is like, oh, imagine Embiid at 75%. Is that good enough? So like, if you listen to how Embiid, like what the Sixers were dealing with in 2024, he played that season at 75%. And he was the best player on the planet while he was playing. Like Embiid at 75% is dominating the NBA.
He just can't do it for long. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's.
I mean that's not the only thing. That's the biggest thing. Like he can look the best in the world. You just can't do it for too long at that.
But when it comes to your knees, though, I do think a lot of it has to do with losing weight. I do think so.
So I think you have to find the balance of him losing weight and kind of coming off a little bit production wise for him to play 65 games, 70 games consistently and in the playoffs. So the production gonna go down with him losing weight. So we just got to find the balance. Like, what's the perfect weight? What's the perfect loss of production?
Right.
275, 280.
Says, can one of the fellas spell Markkenen's name correctly in the title? I'm positive that Claire or JD will handle that. Y'all don't worry about it at all. We'll take it.
He missed it from an A instead of an
Jonathan Frazier. Joel has a degenerating knee issue. So being in shape only can do so much. Is a good PG and Maxey enough to get Philly in the playoffs / play in?
So he's got that.
I'm not very high on this Philly roster. Yeah, I'm not very high on this Philly roster outside of Embiid. Like I like Maxey and Paul George as compliments to Embiid, but without Embiid there, I'm not a huge fan of the roster. But in this East, I'd hope they can make the play-in, especially since they're going to be trying to win. They're not tanking. But you still need Embiid for half the season. Like, I don't think any of us are even asking him to be eligible for awards. None of us are saying 65 games. Like, we're all just hoping half the season, maybe.
Y'all think Embiid plays next year?
I hope.
I don't know.
What do you mean? Wait. Whoa.
Where would you set the over-under?
Drench, what do you mean? Does he play? You think he's going to be out for the season?
Didn't they just break like his hip or something like that, or his leg?
No, they didn't do that surgery. They were talking about it.
No, they
did. They didn't do it.
No, they didn't. I'd say Embiid's games over under at 31.5. That's what I would say.
Yikes. So we don't know. I don't know if so we don't know if Embiid's gonna play.
All I'm getting mods.
Y'all thinking
that's why I would set the line, and I think a lot.
That's enough. Sure, that's enough. Like y'all know how I feel about with the Kawhi. I don't want Kawhi playing more than 45 games and definitely no back-to-backs. With Joel Embiid, Joel don't even play 41 is a half, play 41 games, no back-to-backs. Let's get to the playoffs. The process.
We got an 8-month season.
They got the most.
Philly have like 17 back-to-back. So we know Embiid's not playing at least 17 games.
They have
so that's 65 is the most he can actually play.
November,
and we know he's not going to play every
the
other
NBA
game. So,
gave a giant FU to Philly. They gave him 17 back-to-backs. That's the most in the league. 17.
Well, 6 months.
Their schedule is
if
brutal.
Embiid plays 40 games and he looks like Embiid in them 40 games, I would deem that a successful regular season. Very successful.
That's 5. So essentially what I'm looking at, Mars, 31 games in a 6-month regular season. That's 5 games a month I'm getting from you. That's once a week. That's it.
No, not even like that.
You remember, I was here a year ago saying Embiid should play 1 game a week. I was here a year ago saying Embiid should be playing 1 game a week.
He might be out of shape with that, though.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm thinking.
And Ox was talking about getting him in the pool. Like, I remember this conversation vividly because I was saying play him 1 game a week a year ago.
NBA.
That's a little tough
for the NBA.
All you, because you can get your cardio from lifting. You know what I'm saying? Lifting light weights and just doing that. And then also just swimming.
Yeah, but
that's
what
I'm
basketball shape.
That's
Basketball
different.
shape.
I understand. I'm very well aware of that, but I'm just saying.
And they don't practice too. That's another thing. They don't practice like that.
Well, yeah,
right. But he don't need
Embiid would have to be working out. You need to remain in shape. For sure.
Right, but they don't practice. They don't.
He's one of them dudes that can just blow up. He's one of those dudes. Like,
he got
to be on a strict diet, strict eating regimen, strict in that pool, and play in. And then, but with that being said, though, once March comes around, two games a week. You know what I'm saying?
I also said that. Yep.
Okay. But when you're a little kid and you miss basketball practice because you were sick for 2 or 3 days, boy, you be out of shape like a mother, boy. I can't
relate to that, Jordan.
I got sick.
I ain't never get out of shape until probably 3 years ago. I ain't know what being out of shape felt like.
Yeah, maybe it's different in basketball, but missing 2-3 days and being out of shape is crazy.
Boy, you on boy?
That's crazy.
Yeah, 2-3 days. Take off running and cut and come back. Them lungs be.
I get it.
Boy, them lungs be like, come on.
But I love that feeling when you run in your lungs start hurting.
Chill, you know what I'm talking about. Chill, you got
exactly what you're talking about. Hell,
boy, you missed 3-4 days.
I know you can relate because y'all don't never be in shape. Y'all run 100 yards. I gotta go get on that ball.
Hell no.
Oxygen machine
always tired. I be like, bro, how the hell are y'all tired?
They get that oxygen thing on their face after one pick six. It was like, I can't. They got to put that mask on.
Hey, but I be like, how are y'all tired? Y'all get a break every play.
D-Jet says
this isn't accurate at all, and I don't respect basketball players to understand anything about any of this.
Imagine a dude making fun of you because a dude runs.
No, basketball players are the laziest people in the university.
This is trying to read a super chat.
But I'm saying,
we go super chat.
You don't got to respect this. So I remember how out of shape you was when we got on that little bounce thing.
I'm telling you that I'm saying that's like true. Like basketball players literally are the worst in terms of doing what they're supposed to do. But that's such a hater, Blake.
That's not true.
It's not hater at all. It's not hater at all. Who's in the training room? We are. Who's in fitness? We are. Who's at summer workouts? We are. What are y'all doing?
What do you think we doing in the summertime? What you crazy?
We doing our job. Y'all don't even play too long in the summertime.
Shell's cool.
You got a Euro.
Second grade athletes.
He's
D-Jet says Ben Simmons still play and be a role player. He still deserves to be in the league. You bugging, Jordan.
That's totally fine. I'll come to a point where I just realize we just see things differently. LeBron fans that taught me, you know what? Just say, you know what? If that's how you feel, okay.
Mm-hmm. Jordan, you not for everybody, and that's okay.
Yeah. If that's how you feel, okay.
Tupac Westside, Mars and Penn. I've criticized Ben for that playoff disaster for years, but hearing you guys talk about that in his current situation has made me more understanding and sympathetic. Much appreciated. He didn't say
wasn't thanking you.
No, he definitely is. I definitely am the one that I think started with the mental illness and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So shout out. There's multiple factors that led to that.
Oh, that guy must be Gen Z.
And he got scapegoated by Doc Rivers in the press conference. So shout out.
They definitely blamed. But that was like the storyline, the whole run, which makes when Ben was doing what he was doing offensively, it makes sense. But there were not big issues. There were other issues alongside what Ben was doing.
They said, can you win with him at point guard?
And he said, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know the answer.
So
that was tough. But then you also got to look at Ben. Ben had back issues that he was dealing with even before the 2021 season. He got hurt in 2020 with a back injury, and in 2022 he got another back injury. Got another one in 2023. He's been dealing with back injuries for a while, and anyone who's dealt with back injuries knows how severe they can become debilitating. So I think you can see just in the way Ben Simmons moves. Ben Simmons in 2020 and Ben Simmons today does not move the same. That's more than just mental deficiencies. So we can attribute some of it to back injuries. Some of it is mental stuff, sure. Some of it is his skill set offensively just didn't develop. And then he lost faith, I think, in his skill set. So I think there's a whole concoction that led to the Ben Simmons we have today. And quite frankly, if Ben Simmons doesn't want to be in the NBA or in the right situation, or he doesn't like the contract he's offered, then
Mars, you forgetting one thing.
200 million reasons to walk away from it. And look,
I forget.
I think everyone just assumes that.
Yeah, but that's what I said about his lack of improvement.
Everyone
bro.
just assumes
But that was
that
documented from LSU. People were questioning whether or not Ben Simmons had a work ethic or he loved the game.
100%.
Whether or not that was right, but now, like 10 years later, it looks like
He was
it anyway.
documenting when he was in Australia.
Hold on,
Actually,
they've been talking about that for a while with Ben Simmons.
Jordan. Y'all on tonight, right? Y'all want to play back, Jordan? You on?
I'm on tonight.
Yeah.
Continue this conversation.
Let's pick that up then. I got a class I gotta be at. Jordan, I need you to Euro step. Jordan will call off, then get upset and emotional when somebody calls him out for things he says. So
yeah, I don't think that's why I was getting upset. But
Masai Ujiri calls it the Afro step.
No, we ain't never doing that. But I call it the Nigerian step.
He said European stole it. European stole it. Like, you got to take it back. Call it the Afro step.
Hey, take it back. Man. We got to do it for the
Ginobili ain't even European.
There you go. See, Europe stealing countries again. Damn it, Mars.
You calling
as you were saying,
War v Room. I understand why KD asked where Swiper was from, because we can't say ish about Team USA without him bringing up Serbia almost winning. This is 10th time. It's about his 100th time.
KD asked Swiper where he from.
Yeah,
and
Swiper was like credit to Serbia for like nearly winning. Blah blah blah. KD quote tweeted that asking him where Swiper.
Did Swiper wear a Team USA jersey or something after that?
Yeah, he did something, but I told Swiper when KD asked him where he was from, he should have pressed KD for that. But no, he weren't. You know, Swiper wanted to be
Belgrade, motherfucker.
Who you talking to? Nigga, don't worry about where you from. Nigga, asking me stupid ass questions.
Hey, I be needing to press that singer Tank. I'm tired of that nigga coming in my comments. I be wanting to I pressed that nigga like two years ago. He came back. I let him make it though. LeBron fans made me learn how to Euro step.
Tank trips off. He's a Bron fan. Tank is.
Yeah, that nigga always in my comments, bro. I just let him make it. I'm a changed man now. Bron fans changed my mind, boy. You can't say nothing about Bron. What?
We got one super chat, Jordan. Let him do his job.
It said Martin Luther King should be disappointed in me because I talked about LeBron. That's why I quit. I'm done.
You know what you're doing right now? You J.R. Smithing his LeBron performance as a host right now. You are J.R. Smithing his performance.
As you were saying,
I love J.R. Smith. I love J.R. MTH. Who me? MTHJ301 says starters: Steph, Pods, Butler, Dre, Horford. Bench: Buddy, Moody, Kuminga, Simmons, Quentin. I'm telling you, watch out. I sound like a weak.
I'm so sleep. Yeah, I'm so sleep.
They weak as hell. They not winning nothing.
Mars, are you in and out of consciousness, or are you sleeping, Mars?
I'm comatose. I'm snoring. You can't wake me up.
All right, y'all. Well, hey, that's that. But tonight, if you want to catch some more great basketball, make sure that you get to playback.tv in the Players Choice Room. We will be watching the Golden State Valkyrie against the Seattle Storm. It's going to be a great game. There's going to be some playoff implications in this game, so y'all make sure to pull up and check it out. In the meantime, we'll see y'all tomorrow, same place, same time, same crew. Peace.
Merry Christmas.
And he read the $2 super chats. Crazy.